Three, two, one. And come on, let's vape. Welcome to the VAbE, the podcast, or the VAbE experience. And boom, we're live. So how are you guys tonight?
Superb.
Amazing. So yeah, quick intro. I am Mr. V.
Caffeinated and motivated.
Oh yeah, that was for sure. So I'm Mr. V. I go by Mr. V. My name is Virat. I have Abhishek, AB Chan with us. I've got Bhavesh from our last podcast, and someone who's already been supporting us roll through our thick and thin. That's the owner of Desi Labs and Wafresh at Khargar. His name is Varun. And do you go by some other alias?
See, I'm the original Mr. V, so you stole my name, okay?
All right.
So, no, but I'm kidding. Thank you so much, man. We go way back, absolutely. And I'm so glad to be on this podcast.
Amazing.
And you spoke about thick and thin, and I've seen the thick of it, but yet to see the thin of it. So there you go.
We're going to reach there. We're certainly going to reach there. So, all right. So tonight we're talking more of, I think something interesting, maybe something more to do with dating. Maybe things around dating. What is dating to you? How do you perceive it? Is there any right or wrong perhaps in dating? And to what sort of moral compass do you really, sort of hold at a personal level on the dating side of things? And then maybe some good on some bad experiences, some good laughter is what I am looking for. So yeah, that's that. And maybe we can begin here. Who wants to go first now in the dating? Let me start. So dating for me, I guess, had begun quite some time ago. Around I've been in the dating scene since a while, but then again, been in a few very committed relationships.
A while.
So yeah, dating for around 12 years. But been in serious committed relationships in all for around 6.5. So half my life I've been probably just committed. But nevertheless, I think that was it had its own good times and the bad times. So yeah, right from having a live-in to dating in the same scene or probably even a long distance. Been there, done it all, and yeah. Learned way too much out of it. Maybe a lot of places I thought that, things were more inwards, as in for me, it was more of what I could have done better. But perhaps I think as the night progresses, maybe we'll, sort of try and touch a bit upon what all can be actually considered. And at the same time, what all should be picked up while you are actively going through your relationship as such, and in general, if you're kind of approaching someone, or maybe you're out on a date, you're having a date night with your girlfriend, wife, ex, we don't judge. So yep, that's that. Okay, so AB, X's and the O's. Look at that laughter.
I'll still be the backbencher in this.
Yeah. Oh, no, that's all right. But
I'm not. I don't have enough dating experience per se.
Mm-hmm.
I've been wanting to date and being able to date successfully. So I wanted to date I don't know, since school I've always felt I wanted to love someone. I mean, the innate desire to have a girlfriend, because when I passed out of 10th, I came to know my friends had girlfriends since 8th standard, and that's when I came to know they were not my friends. So and again, I always used to wonder, how difficult could that be? And yet it was very difficult for me because I was not that extrovert. And then again, getting it all wrong, being a point of laughter, trying to be humorous to get someone's attention, and then...
No, I think that's one thing which is very important, to be humorous and have a sense of humor while you're in the dating scene. I mean, I'm sure a lot of people here would agree to that. I mean, you get laid really quick if you have a sense of humor. I mean, come here, you little piece of joke. Let me do you.
Yes.
So that's one of the things you'll definitely get to hear. But nevertheless, I think there was one thing which you were mentioning in terms of the need. what kind of was the need for, sort of having a girlfriend or maybe being in a relationship? Anything ever really paid attention to as such?
So in the earlier days, like when I was way too young to understand all these things, I mean, obviously at that point, sex was not the only thing that runs through your mind.
100%.
And again, like it's just like your body, you're not aware of the extent to which you can exploit. I mean, be it self-stimulation or like, even with a girlfriend, like what are the things to what extents you could go. So I have, back then I had a girlfriend when I had just entered 12th. But then again, it didn't last long. I feel that it was the immaturity that caused the relation to break. But then back then it was just to have that gap filled, the void basically, like to have a girlfriend. And then now I feel if I would want to have a girlfriend, then it would be more like having a confidant, like what do you call it?
A confidant, yeah.
A confidant, basically, someone to confide into. But then again, it's like I've been single for so many years. It's like, I mean, I have those people in my life. I mean, they are men like that I confide into. Like I consider them brothers. So again, now it's like,
I mean, that void is already filled.
Correct. I mean, the emotional security. So I used to always feel like, a girlfriend would make me feel complete. Like, everyone has someone to fall back onto. Like, there's a lot of emotional dependency. So again, these are all things that I've seen around me, and that is how I used to feel that this is how I am incomplete.
So I think from the dependency standpoint, I think we should keep dependency aside and maybe look at it more from a coexistence sort of a standpoint. I think I'm trying to just put it out there. Maybe you guys want to dwell more upon it, or maybe you want to invalidate it, really up for debates. But I think for me, it totally boils down into the fact that a man and a woman being in a relationship to some extent are looking for a procreation, right? I mean, to have their next generation come in and sort of take up the reins and girl, boy, whatever. I mean,
it's a given.
Yeah. So biologically, we are hardwired to sort of get attracted to maybe the opposite sex or the same sex if you're into that. But somewhere those attraction and the juices in the head really try to act up. But nevertheless, I think very, very perfectly mentioned in terms of having a need. Initially, it used to be maybe out of fear of missing out, right? I mean, more of FOMO or
to
guys
flex.
really, absolutely to flex. Maybe even I am dateable. Even I am sort of seeking those validations bit. But now on, you definitely need someone, perhaps, who can help you be a better person. You're definitely one of the best, but then definitely you can. There is always a scope for improvement, right? So I mean, why do we still need to be in a relationship apart from the procreation side? I mean, let's just keep that aside for this particular conversation.
So that's the reason I've like, if I'm single, so it's not due to circumstance. So it's my conscious decision that I've made.
It's a choice.
So
right?
I've chosen this lifestyle that I don't feel the need to be in a relation, because again, maybe I value relationships so much that I would like to, the certain things that one needs to fulfill. I mean, one has to be, and there's a lot of maturity in play, right? Just imagine, like, you're fucked up and the other person is not understanding, and then you both are like disaster. Like tornado meets a volcano and shit happens. So, and again, I feel like I'm not the most sorted person on earth. I'm sorted in my own way, but then I don't need, like, validation from the other person. Like, I would not. So basically, in a way, one has to also, I mean, one needs to be sorted emotionally as well. And currently, I honestly do not have the bandwidth wherein I could accommodate someone else's need. I'm already trying to, better my relationship with family. Like my parents, then I've got my sister, then I've got my cousins. So I would love to first better my relationship with them rather than keep accommodating people in my lives and screw it all up that way.
So, I mean, how important is getting your shit together?
It's very important because what happens is, at times, had you been in a nice place mentally, you could have taken shit from the other person. There are a lot of people, they are nice people too, but they have their own way of getting things done, of communicating. But if you are not there mentally, like if you don't have that shit together, then probably you won't be able to accommodate their needs also.
Okay.
People, like there was a quote by someone, Kevin Hart or Jamie Foxx, like people ask for love in the most undesirable ways.
Oh yeah, that was
something like that.
That was Will Smith.
Or Will Smith
and
The monk.
Darman. No, that was Darman.
Okay.
I was seeing that. So I mean, I know. For crying out loud, they're trying to sort of.
So it's not always. It's very easy to say that the other person is messed up, like the other person is needy. But then again, that doesn't define who that person is entirely, right? And if one of us is in a position operates from a position of abundance, that one could finally see through you. Like if I am not at the right state of mind and my partner is, I would be given multitude of chances to make my relationship work with that person, right? Because that person sees for what I am, not how I behave.
Right.
For a lot of people, behavior ticks off.
Totally.
So to me, it does. To me, it does. And I cannot accommodate all these things currently from a position that I operate from. And these things are not a priority for me currently. So I just cannot handle it right now. So it's better to stay off the grid, rather than.
Ever thought of, from a standpoint? I mean, just a thought. Ever thought this to be maybe you're fearing something and then maybe not approaching this? I mean, not just to you. I mean, Bhavesh, Varun, dating fear. Anything you guys want to maybe chime in? So, I mean, for me, it used to be initially the fear of getting rejected outright. I mean, to approach someone was a real problem. Then later on, it became more of a fear of toxicity. That was shit scary. I mean, I've been through really bad ones. I mean, VAbE knows a lot of it. Varun does know a lot. We've been through thick and a lot of smoke together. So
by toxicity, what I would infer is being invested in the wrong set of people.
110%.
It still exists. That type of fear I do always have. If I were to ever date, that would be my primal fear. That I would never want to be. So basically, and just think of it from my standpoint. Like, I don't know, it's been quite a lot of years that I've not dated anyone. I haven't had someone called as a girlfriend in my life. Okay. So, and I value relationships to an extent where loyalty is something which is like cannot be negotiated. I operate from that. And if I ever were to encounter a person that I would like to include in my life, or they let me include them in my life, or vice versa, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And that person doesn't happen to be a fit for me. And I'm already invested emotionally so much, because obviously I've not dated for this while, but I have built this character up somewhere, right? When I'll have a girlfriend, it would be the best, to the best of my abilities to judge someone. Everyone is judgmental. I mean, we are said not to judge, but then, I mean, it's horseshit.
Absolutely.
One judges you the minute you step inside the room.
So, I mean, the whole line of first impression being the last impression. Aren't you fucking judging out there?
Absolutely.
That's
so my primal fear would be being invested in a wrong person.
Bhavesh, your fear. Any time you've operated out of fear, or something which is actually, you feel is genuine in terms of a fear which a person would just go for.
My fear in that sense is, definitely the fear of rejection was one of the fear I used to actually tackle with. But I would say that I have overcome that fear with due course of time. I've been like practicing this thing, which I called cold approach.
Yeah, so, you were talking about it the last time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So that totally helped me to actually overcome the fear of rejection. But yes, the fear of ending up into a wrong relationship a toxic one, always is there. But still, I have this thing in back of my mind that fear of toxicity is always gonna be there unless or until you do not know whom you are landing up with. And if you have a good sense of judgment, or you can say a good sense of judging a person, the whom you are talking to or whom you are actually dating one. So you can definitely go out of the, or you can skip out of the relationship at the very right time when you see some particular traits in that particular person. And that will actually save you from getting into a very, emotional disaster. So that is what I think that, ending up into a relationship with the wrong person or toxic person is a fear. But I'm learning some traits to actually find a person that who actually tells that, this person is going to be toxic for you. So stay away from that person.
So you want to look at it from a controllable standpoint.
Exactly.
These are the controllables.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So, for example, there are so many things. For example, there's a very famous thing about women, which I truly believe that women they want attraction. They want attention. They want attention. They want attention day and night. So if they are if they are not seeking attention from your side, they might be seeking attention from someone. So if you are not the one who is actually giving the attention to that, your woman, and your woman is also not demanding attention from you, that means she is getting attention from someone. So you gotta get alarmed at that particular time. So that is a kind of sign which I have learned through because of time. So
This is quite insightful. Huh?
Scary also at different times.
Yeah, exactly.
Why
Because
not?
if she's not demanding attention,
from you, you have to understand that women are designed
someone's
in such
keeping
a way.
her satisfied emotionally.
Exactly. In that particular sense. So you need to make sure that the woman which you are with, or the woman whom you are dating. So
people would actually, had I not been exposed to this side of, the notion that you are carrying out now, I would have felt my woman is superb.
Yeah, exactly.
She doesn't demand attention at all. Yeah.
Doesn't bother me much.
We understand something called as space.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I would have carried on my podcast.
So that is something. It is very too good to be true.
Varun would have something.
No, I'll just give you the stats on that. Basically,
would you consider it alarming? If she's
of
not,
course. See, the bottom line is attention is the coin of the realm in this, especially in today's modern.
Pretty new to me.
No, it is the coin of the realm. In this modern day and age where you have Instagram and Facebook and everything, right? Go on Instagram and search #selfie and you'll see 300 million plus posts. Okay. Here's the thing with guys and girls. Okay. Let's not even get to the point where we are calling them men and women. Let's talk when we're young, when we're just
Kids.
There's so much learning. This topic is so huge. You learn as you're growing up. And especially in your teens when you have no idea what is going on in your life. Okay?
Yeah.
That's when the real learning starts about dating and so on and so forth. And that is that point of time in life where you're pretty much sleepwalking through life. You're partying. True. You don't know what's going on, in school with this girl, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So coming back to go on Instagram and search #selfie, you'll see 300 million plus posts and it's all pretty looking women. A lot of girls, right? And you'll see one thing that you switch on the camera, dudes will point it out to the world and chicks will point it out to, hey, look at me. I'm pretty. Right? Okay. Look at me. I'm pretty. So this is the thing. Attention is the coin of the realm. Now you have so many guys liking her pictures, commenting on there, messaging her that, hey, why don't you come out with me, blah, blah, blah. So if you're not the person keeping your woman happy, that's what Bhavesh was saying, demanding attention from her. She's getting attention from everywhere else anyway. This is the thing.
She's not even asking for it perhaps, and she's definitely getting attention.
But maybe she feels satisfied through the comments on her Instagram. not necessarily someone has penetrated through the DMs into her mind. I mean,
Slipping into DMs, yeah. That's one tricky
yeah,
scenario.
Varun, you're yet to disclose
Disclose what?
the trick I was asking about. Like,
Oh no, we were talking about fears, right? So no, let's come back to that topic. So obviously, fear of rejection is everywhere. Okay, let it be a job interview, let it be some person not liking you, let it be a girl turning you down. Fear of rejection is the first fear that we have. Even before the rejection, it's the fear of just getting there and saying what's really on your mind. Getting to the girl and saying what's really, even before you do that, you have 10 scenarios ready in your head. Ki, oh, what if this happens? What if that happens? What if she's seeing someone? What if this happens?
I would like to interrupt. So basically, two things to it. The fear of rejection is always during the early years. And I think where it comes from is the lack of self-worth. Like, if you tell me, AB, you are worthless, does that change my perception about me? Fuck no.
No, so the place where you reject yourself, I guess you allow someone else also to
rewind. Let's take it back 10 years, right? Where I didn't have that confidence or anything. That could have affected me. I could have taken it negatively.
I mean, agreed. So the core belief system has to be confidence.
Correct.
That is for sure.
And I don't think fear of rejection to someone who's been out on dates, who's been doing cold approaches. Cold approaches is a nice term, but then I always look at it as rejection. So any guy who's been asking chicks out, like I've probably tried in my initial years a lot, and getting turned down. So basically, no has been a constant figure. Like a father figure hota hai.
Just tell him what is the figures of cold approach. What is the rejection ratio?
The rejection ratio, majority of the times, like you have to define. For example, last time Rohit was saying that rejection is something else, but for me, rejection is like if I'm not getting the number or if I'm not getting the girl out of the date, that is rejection. So for me, it is like 99 by 1. 99 times have been rejected, and one time I've got the success ratio.
There you go.
So that is what the thing is. But still, it shows about that.
So you think the juice is worth the squeeze?
Yeah, definitely, because
that's how you find soulmates.
Soul mate.
It's life. It's life. You always like experiment on the things.
Let's just put it in a different perspective for people. So why do people fear joining into sales jobs? One thing they've always told me that they're not good with sort of convincing people or speaking straight right off the phone. So cold calling, that was one genuine
has to
fear.
Be outspoken basically.
And second one was targets. I mean, pressure and those bits.
So when you go out, always first of all for the cold approach thing, you never go out with the like basic targets. But yes.
So but then like you just said, right? You have a target of at least getting a number or maybe sort of taking her out on a date or something of that sort. So we could certainly look at that from a target standpoint.
See, whenever I go out, I never have this target that I'm gonna get a number today, or I'm gonna get a girl out with me. Like I'm gonna take a girl out with me. So the target is to just go and talk to women.
Okay.
All the beautiful women on the roads. You just go there. You just go and open up, and you just have to give a beautiful compliment. And definitely she's getting so much of attention. She's getting a lot of guys DMing into her Instagram. A lot of things are happening to her, but at the same time she's getting pissed off with all the creeps over there.
100%.
Okay, so she might be getting 2 or 3 dick pics every day in her DMs with all random strangers. But a man approaching a woman in a proper way where she's feeling comfortable, where she's feeling safe. So there are certain rules of approaching a woman. You never approach a woman when there is dark. You never approach a woman when she's alone or she's isolated from some place. So that she should never feel afraid or scared that this guy is gonna rape me now because इसने घेर लिया मुझे and he's gonna like attack on me, or he's gonna like snatch her purse or something is gonna happen. So there are certain rules. Make her feel comfortable, make her feel special, make her feel that or genuinely you are not gonna fake about it. That okay, I'm definitely not liking this girl, but still I'm gonna go to that girl and I'm gonna say that her hair is beautiful and she's looking very pretty in this dress or something like that. I'm not gonna say like that. If I'm feeling about her, I will go and express my feeling. That's it, without being needy. So I want that girl. At the same time, I do not need that girl. So there's a difference. If she rejects me, it gives me zero affection. Like I do not get affected anyway with that rejection. So it's just kind of experience. And I always have 2 or 3 things on my mind that now I'm going to say this particular line to that girl and I'm going to see her reaction. So it's more of a kind of experimentation for me and less of a approach. So whenever I go out, I talk to a girl in a different manner. I will like, for example, hey, excuse me, I think I've seen you on Instagram. Are you a fashion influencer by any chance? So I'm going to check what kind of reactions comes out of this particular
I just felt
line.
that.
Sorry?
That was nice.
Yeah, exactly.
I just felt that.
Motherfucker.
No, but that was actually nice. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So the
The way
reply,
it came out in
Yeah. I mean,
the reply could be, no, I'm not.
Don't you think, the reason the ratio is so pathetic of conversion 99 to 1 is because again, it
Maybe
starts
I'm
off
not-
with the upbringing, like
No,
don't
it's
talk
not
to
like
the
that.
strangers, like, and the stories of cold approaches are not glorified. These are not marketed well. How often have you come across, or have you ever come across a couple who said कि हाँ ये मेरे पति हैं, इन्होंने तो मुझे cold approach किया. You never come across, because I personally have never.
no, but
You know what?
I'll tell you what. They never tell you the right story.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, it's always some Manchurian.
So I
food
know
masala maar ke.
I know a few of the people who are about to get married. They met on Tinder. They still say ki, "Arey nahi, we were at a party and then we met."
This is still doable. I mean, I've come across people who have accepted, and even their family knows that they got through Bumble and the shit. But cold approach, I'm yet to.
No.
ever
So
come
if
across.
they say we met at a bar, what was that?
Cold
Grinding.
approach.
And then they sort of fell in love. Well, it makes sense, right? I mean, to some extent, the guy
And
might
then-
have just said
and
that,
then
let
don't
me buy you a
think,
beer.
Bhavesh, that the premise for the cold approach, the conversion that one could have in mall versus in lounge or clubs, I think clubs a guy would stand better chance.
Yeah, definitely. But cold approach doesn't mean that always approaching a woman
Because
in a
of-
mall or on road. You can definitely go to a bar or somewhere. Cold approach is a lifestyle. It's not something which I'm talking about. For example, you can actually convert this into a religion in coming particular days, which actually gives you a different kind of confidence.
Agreed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's if you go inwards, it gives you the confidence to walk up to anyone and just be the fun guy.
And have a
Introduce
cool
yourself.
fucking conversation.
That's it.
Yeah. So
And what do you expect out of that conversation?
fun, nothing else.
Define fun.
Fun means if I am having a very low state of mind, and if I'm thinking that all of my friends are busy somewhere, I do not need anyone to have fun. I'm gonna go to any random stranger. I'm gonna talk to that particular person. If that person is interested with me, I'm gonna have a very good night with that particular person. If that person is not good with me, I'm gonna go and talk to some other 10 strangers, and already I had a very good night. So in any way, I was having fun.
It's a win.
It's a win-win situation basically. But again, I would like to add this thing that at the same time when I'm approaching, I'm not being needy. So you need to kill the neediness.
So I think the one very thing which AB was also trying to mention, that I have a picture in my head of that ideal person or something of that sort, that I hold that person in maybe some high regards. Am I somewhere close, AB? So were you
That person?
just a while ago you were saying, right, that मेरी girlfriend ऐसी हो.
I have,
That you
an
do
empty space. So the position holds that value. Not the person sitting
No,
on it, because there's no one sitting
I
there.
get it. But even that position, if it is ever on a higher value than yourself, then that's a problem.
Correct.
you cannot pedestalize someone saying that, you know what, she's so beautiful. You know what, she's so amazing. You know what, she's so this, that, or whatever.
True,
I
true.
get it. She is a high value person and you should definitely be
So
with her.
am I. I mean, I'm the prize
Absolutely.
after all.
Absolutely. I mean, why aren't both of you?
But then again, does the relation survive only when I'm made to feel that way? No.
Um,
If I have a partner so do I look for such women as a partner who make me, so I feel obviously I'm the prize. Probably she feels she's the prize. But when we sit down, we chat, when we converse, so do I have to look for a partner who makes me feel how I want to, that I am the prize? Do such relations last long?
no, so I think, I mean, I haven't really reached there. I won't be the best person to preach, but someone who can actually add value to your shine right now, and you do that to that person as well. I mean, it's a give and take, as simple as that.
Absolutely.
So till the time she doesn't help you grow, you cannot help her grow, or till the time you don't help her grow, she won't help you grow. Vice versa, right? So I mean, it's kind of a chicken and egg story, but then again, coexistence more than anything. Why can't she and you, both of you, thrive in your own separate life as well, which is coinciding at a lot of instances? Perhaps on a family front, you guys can, sort of go for a vacation together. 10 lakhs. Not a problem, because she's power at her work, your power at your work. You guys are managing the house really well. The need bit is what you need to actually avoid, right? So like Bhavesh was saying, you want to be in that rather than being that needy person. "Oh, nahi, kitni achhi hai. Let's just be with her."
And but then again, I mean, this is the book that says, or this is a rule kind of a thing, right? You cannot be needy. But how many people doing these things are
it's
not needy?
easier said than done.
100%.
Absolutely.
100%.
As human beings, you have that programmed into you that I want to be loved. When you see people out there who are, in love with each other, you're like, I want that. That is something that I need.
I've felt that, I've felt that.
like exactly to what you were saying, a woman should be a complement to your life, not the focus of it.
She cannot be the center of your universe.
Yeah, exactly. That's when you start being needy. It's like, hey, what are you doing? But you just start bothering her 20 times a day and this. And she's like, she's sitting wondering there, doesn't this guy have a life apart from me? Okay, so I mean, you need to have your purpose, your passions, your group of friends. You need to have your own shit to do. And she adds up as a compliment to that.
Of course.
She's the icing on the cake. You are the cake.
Correct.
I mean, as a man, you have the burden of performance, right?
How often do you come across such couples? Married couples, you're very young to be coming across such people. But
yeah.
I barely come across such couples who add value to each other, who
I
add
have come across a few.
a few.
No, but I'm telling you, you've come across a few, but you can still count them on your fingertips.
Yes,
It's a
I agree.
rare sight.
I agree.
But
I agree.
when you see it, it's glorious. And that's where the buzzer in your head goes, oh, I want that. That is what it's supposed to be. And obviously your Bollywood and Hollywood, all your programming, all your sitcoms, and
that's
It's-
one box I would love to open.
we'll
That's damn
that's
messed up.
a Pandora's box
fucking
that we
messed
can
up.
open up later on. Yeah.
No, why not? We better do that, because they've actually messed it up for the greater
Exactly.
one.
Yeah,
of
so
Yeah, I
it's
agree on
a
that.
Setting wrong
fully
expectations.
110%.
false picture that's painted. This whole fake programming, right, of
So-
the Disney culture is what we
I
call
mean, not
it.
just the Disney culture. Right now, I was seeing certain prank videos. Like when Bhavesh was mentioning of, you shouldn't approach a lady when she's alone. The prank videos are always approaching a woman when she's alone. Perhaps it's scripted, but that's not the
But that gives a different message.
Pretense is the word, or that is not exactly what I would want people to learn, right? That, what, the way for you to approach a person is when she's alone, lonely, and that's when she'll feel that, you're such a man that, you're walking up to her and stuff like that. You're just going to be just another creep. So I think, that's just one of it. So maybe prank videos, what's up with that, man?
I mean, I couldn't relate much on the prank videos, but I feel just approaching some random girl just once won't sail your boat any which ways. And knowing it and still doing it, I mean, that I feel confused. Like why do it
But-
when you yourself
But again,
when you yourself are not confident of the fact, or let's say when you yourself believe ki this as it is not going to work. So this self amusement in a way, is it?
Definitely not. But I would disagree on that thing that cold approaching a woman like on the road or anywhere, like in the bar or somewhere. See, it gives it actually comes with a different mindset or perception. For example, if a girl is in a mall, okay, she's not thinking of expecting a guy coming to her and talking about dating and her beauty or somewhere like that. But if a girl is in a bar, she's definitely expecting someone to come and talk to her. In her mind, definitely, because the bars and clubs have actually created
these setups have been sold for so long.
exactly.
It's a
The
social
premise
setting.
has been
Yeah,
sold.
yeah.
So the setup
Right.
itself has been marketed.
Exactly. So the aura and all other things, they actually play a role. But still, at the same time, your vibe decides what outcome you're gonna get out of it. So the way you go and talk to that particular girl, for example, if you are the girl, if I'm coming to you, hey, listen, I saw you from there, and I think you're cute. So that gonna actually create a very like nervous portrayal. Well, the portrait of the guy is actually very nervous.
why are you stammering?
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
why are you so
And she'll be
nervous?
like, "Kahin to prank chal raha hai, and they're shooting me, and this is not real." But at the same time, if I go and, excuse me, I think you're looking really pretty, and I saw you from there, and I immediately got distracted. So I thought I should say hi to you.
Difference, you.
Aren't you the sweetest?
I swear, take me out. Why won't you? But
So
yeah.
the difference creates the aura, basically. So the way I'm talking to you, the words I'm saying to you, and there are so many things which actually create a lot of role.
But
Earlier,
is this? Are you saying this aura is sellable or bankable?
definitely,
Because the
I'm
notion
getting-
is temporary. What you've made her feel just now is just temporary.
No, definitely. I have got so many numbers. I've got so many Instagrams. I'm getting in touch with girls. I've slept with few also. So the kind of thing which I'm trying to say over here is
So it's basically
that
measuring each girl with the same stick. So ultimately, you are finding the girl who responds well, who is open to the idea of a random guy approaching her. So you keep doing it till the time you find a person who reciprocates.
definitely, yeah.
So the
Exactly.
abundance.
abundance.
So there's no method to madness in this.
There
There's
is,
no
right?
innovation in a way.
Ah,
I mean, you say the same sweet lines, or I mean, one could call them cheesy.
yeah, definitely. One
You
can
keep
call them
saying
things.
it again and again and again
Okay.
till the time someone reciprocates, right?
There are so many things. For example,
Are you going to apart from saying something sweet, like again, like call
Yeah.
it cheesy or sweet or
Yeah.
something mesmerizing? What else do you do to catch their interest,
you can
to
go.
close them?
No,
For
so this is where who you are as a person comes
Yeah.
into the picture.
was
What
going
do
to
you
say
do
that.
after that initial? Hey, you're looking very pretty. I really like those earrings. Where are they from? Oh, you've been to Goa. Blah blah blah. And now you open up a conversation. You talk about your stories. I've been a musician all my life, so I straight up go for, hey, what music do you listen to? And boom. And then 20 minutes later, we're at a karaoke. We're having a beer and singing along to some songs, and suddenly you both get to know each other. So who you are as a person comes into picture. What do you like? What are your passions? You can tell her she's pretty and all. Okay, what after those couple of sentences? How do you take it forward? That's where
Yeah, I mean, that's where your innovation comes in, right? Now,
Like,
I understand you might open a conversation with that person, maybe more or less the same way. But you know what? You're beautiful. I'd like to take you out on a meal, perhaps. But you could certainly add something new to it. I mean, you could maybe open it in a way that, hey, are you a Harry Potter fan? Because I would take you to Chamber of Secrets. I mean, that's freaking, I mean, something very, very
And when
lame.
does this
but,
stop? When
Stop.
does this stop?
like what?
When
what
you
is
find
it?
the one.
Cold approach. But it doesn't stop if you're not looking to find a woman, right? If someone is not keen. So basically, when does it stop? These cold approaches. Only for two reasons. So only for one reason, when you're looking to find the one. But if someone who's not interested in finding the one will.
So let's just say that cold approaches is one way of beginning your dating
Exactly.
scenario,
Yeah.
right? dating people. You're trying to figure out who.
Where the bold are celebrated in a way.
You could say that, but we'll get to the bold and the beautiful bit in a while, because there are other ways as well where you can actually approach women. May not require that much level of confidence, but confidence does sell.
Exactly.
I mean,
Sure.
Yeah.
be it a woman, be it your
Definitely.
boss, be it your sales guy, be it your freaking customer as well, it fucking sells. So that's the truth. I mean, like Varun, you say, the world is not fair. Deal with it. I mean, can't really help it, right? So confidence definitely sells. So that's one bit of it. But then again, I would still say there are other means and ways for you to sort of approach women, which won't really sort of involve much of troubles for you as well. Dating sites, that could be one of it. But dating sites, right? I mean, somewhere where you don't really have to approach someone directly saying that, you know what, I find you cute.
You're getting to the point where all of us are ultimately going to land up.
Exactly.
Which
Oh,
is,
definitely. Maybe you want.
don't chase, attract.
Exactly.
That's where you need to
Yeah.
get.
Yep.
So maybe you chase excellence. Maybe you chase money. Maybe you chase getting that physique you want. Maybe you chase getting good at dancing, playing music, or singing, or doing the best that you can. Perhaps that's how you attract some interesting life skills. But you were actually, I wanted to get that from you. I wanted you to attack this idea that why dating.
Yeah, I mean, what joy.
So first off was the whole fun
But
of
then again,
dance,
the
right?
the
Yeah.
only reason is because this is a very, I don't know if it can be called a two-edged sword, but this is something which is very powerful. This shit is powerful. Someone learns this who's not a good person per se, can actually,
Cause damage.
yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you, a lot of guys, like,
So I mean,
now obviously the scene has changed wherein people like,
but
I'm sure
just-
you guys would do it too, where people are very open in saying I'm looking for something casual.
yeah, I've said
But
that.
yeah, you've said that.
Yeah.
I've heard of it. And so I feel a lot of people are now very open in admitting the fact that I'm looking for something casual. I'm not in it for serious, right? And I actually appreciate.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, but then a few years back, maybe somewhere, somehow, like, I've literally known guys who had to say that they love that person to get in bed with them.
I know
And
someone very
this-
recent.
And they make a habit out of it.
That's messed up.
Absolutely. And it's cowardly, I feel.
Not just that. I mean, again, they lack integrity to the
Yes.
highest orders, I would say. I mean, certainly you can be very clear that, what you are looking for, and don't really mislead someone into something which they were actually not looking for. I mean, I guess it was today that I was listening to Jordan Peterson saying this, that, I mean, no matter how many people really think that, they can get away with stuff, fuck karma for now. Let's keep karma aside. Some way or the other, there is going to be a way things will get back to them. I mean, people who have been, sort of doing those wrong set of deeds per se, or maybe the things which they shouldn't
I
really
think
mess
I
with.
said something about karma the last time when we were here. Like,
Yeah, I guess.
if you believe, then it happens.
Right.
And most of the time, it is others reminding you of your karma. Like, see, you did something wrong back then, and this is how you got
let's
fucked.
let's keep that karma discussion aside. That's what I was trying to say, because he did quote a few examples. I'm really not recollecting on the top of my head, but I mean the bottom line was that even if you get so much of power, are you going to be happy with it? Yes or no? I mean not the power of asking someone out, but perhaps you made your top billions in the wrong ways, right? I mean, you already attracted a lot of enemies.
Mhm.
You already don't get that peaceful sleep which you actually wanted. Is that money really getting you there? Maybe not. So that's something very interesting which he was actually saying. I mean, really wavering off, but that is what I was trying to sort of put together.
I feel it's a very tricky thing, this whole dating scene, how people deal with it, how people approach
So
their
and
beliefs.
one more problem which I had with what you said, that if this is given into the wrong hands, it can cause a lot of trouble. You give anything in the wrong hands, it's definitely going to cause trouble. So you can't just say that, maybe because of this person, the whole dating scene is bad. Right? I mean, I know I am a very genuine person. I've been very clear with my moral compass. Whenever I approach someone, I tell them, you know what, this is what I'm looking for.
Exactly.
If this is what works for you, we're going ahead. If it doesn't, we're not. Can we still be friends? If I'm up for it, definitely. If I'm not, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm very, very clear with that. And they actually appreciate that. I mean, I still get birthday wishes. I mean, for heaven's sake. So I haven't been bad to them, right? So it's just that it didn't really work out, and then that's perfectly fine. So each and every individual is looking for something different. So abundance in this particular space does really work. In terms of being as creative as possible, that's on completely on you, bro. I mean, are you going to sort of take her out on a date to Wafresh for sure? Get her some nice fruits. Big shout out to Wafresh back again. But I mean, how can you make those dates really interesting? Can you really take a stroll together? Can you guys go for a trek together? Can you guys go for a bowling night or maybe?
And how would you call it? I mean, you know who you are. Let's say at times we are with layers. So is the idea for a successful date, is the trick for it to not be completely transparent? Obviously, I mean, don't display your vulnerability. So one thing would be, don't talk about your vulnerability.
Okay.
Don't display it, basically.
Okay.
Like the previous podcast we are talking about. So it also means, right, not being completely yourself, right? So because not everyone is capable of handling the true you. So you slowly and gradually take times and go on dates, get to know each other till you are finally naked as your soul, basically. Right?
And otherwise,
yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, these days I feel like the naked body part happens much faster than the soul wise, basically.
I agree. I completely
because
agree.
that's very difficult to accept.
It is. I mean, for you yourself.
And is it necessary for a successful relationship? Like, you've been in a long relation, right? I mean, Varun, have you been in a relationship, a long relation?
I think all of us have been at some point.
No, I mean, like he said, he's been, what was your tenure? 6?
5.
5 years?
There's no competition as such, but
no, I'm just
4.5.
Just to gain perspective in terms of like.
So I think
being vulnerable,
tenure
finally.
to a relationship won't be the fair bit of judging whether it was successful or not. But did you really take away something beautiful out of it? Is I think what I would say.
No, so what I was keen on understanding is to finally display your vulnerability confidently.
No, so
when does it happen? When you
first date is definitely a bad idea. To actually show it.
Correct. We agreed on that.
You talk about all these layers that we have to ourselves. So initially it's just getting to know the person. And as you get to know the person, as you get comfortable, then your layers drop by. I mean, that's the answer to his question.
Correct. But now let me ask you, AB, if you meet this girl, beautiful, like amazing, gorgeous, drop dead gorgeous, and she is vulnerable on the day one, from the get-go, the minute she gets off the cab.
So in this scenario, define how is she vulnerable? What does she do?
She's talking about her past. She's talking about how guys have been treating her.
Exactly.
She's talking about her mental health. All these things are important.
Are these things red flags?
No, these are not red flags.
To my mind, I don't think.
In his mind, he's already run away.
I mean, to be in all honesty, I mean, if someone talks about their past, it's completely fine to an extent. I mean, I have my own beliefs that I would always like to stick by, and like there are far more things that ticks me off in a person. Like if someone is trying to express their problems by emotions.
So straight before she even says hi, or maybe as the first impression.
Give her a chance, man. Never happens.
But we don't
right off the bat.
Oh no.
That never happens.
It has happened with me.
Okay.
Messed up.
Yeah,
I mean, the beauty is all temporary. I mean, that can only give you an erection, but ultimately the persona, right? That is something you fall for
No, so
gradually.
I've been in one of those dates where I felt like a padri in a confession box.
Forgive me for I've said.
Yeah. I mean, she's been just crying, moping. I get it. You've got troubles. Even I do. I mean, would you want yourself to be burdened by them? I'm not sure.
What do you think she was seeking? In all
Validation?
Validation, as in?
Validation that, she's actually going through shit. I get it. You are. But
that it was not her fault that way?
Perhaps. Even if it wasn't or it was. I mean, see, I'm not being very, very harsh out here. Definitely, if we think that, these things can really, being with you is going to be somewhere where I am seeing myself as, maybe slowly and steadily, I'd love to know that, what's been bothering you. If you need my inputs, is when I give you inputs. You're here to have a good time on a date with me and not mope, cry, crib, or make me feel
not
that,
everyone is good at these things, right? Like one has to have a very strong facade. Despite what you're feeling internally, you respect the fact that other person has given you time and you've labeled it as date. So you'll try to feel different when you're with them.
No, so
you won't go on with your
so there has to be a distinction between a date and a session with your therapist, right? Come on.
Definitely, yeah. Well said.
So definitely you, by all means, I'll be your support system.
And how many people understand that? One also need to look at this fact. How many people understand this thing?
I doubt anyone does.
No one does.
So that's why, what, for me, I think being vulnerable is definitely on the cards. But still holding my fort is going to be always the name of the game. By that I mean that, I will be vulnerable, but still I won't let you use my vulnerability against me. As simple as that. I cannot just be relaxed in a relationship. I need to renew it. I need to renew it with love. I need to renew it with
not being complacent.
Absolutely. I mean, somewhere you cannot just live your... So, a very, very simple correlation, I would say. Would you be complacent at your workplace?
Absolutely.
And that's what. So, that's how you might want to, sort of see this as well. That if you're being in a relationship, you have to be in a relationship. If you're being at your workplace, you have to be there. If you're sleeping, you are sleeping. A lot of
people get complacent. I mean, in a relationship also.
I did that.
They stop trying.
I did that.
Stop impressing. That's not a priority. They just feel that they've climbed that mountain or they've achieved this.
So again, impressing is one small little problem over there. If you're impressing with the idea that she is on a pedestal, then it's a problem. Right? So it is kind of a balance somewhere where she's trying to impress you, you're trying to impress each other, and you're trying to figure that part out that, how are you guys, freaking attracted to each other that you are going to she's going to jump your bones the minute she sees you. So even after 10 years of relationships, I've seen people do that, and that's fucking beautiful. It's beautiful to see that. But then again, like you said, right? Very few people do understand these things. They just don't really want to give it that shot, and they're like, meh, maybe, I'll find someone better. That's just messed up. I mean, you will definitely find someone better for
people
sure.
Stop
but
trying. I mean, like,
yeah,
I don't think, I don't feel these times are the times where you give people chances. I mean, just consider yourself. I mean, you all three are dating, right?
Yeah.
One red flag or three red flags, and then it's gone.
I mean, I don't want to count them, but...
no, but I mean, I could.
Definitely. I mean, red flags are out.
There is no scope for trying. Where have these times gone? I mean, I do come from, and we do come from a place where we used to...
So trying in what ways are you trying to say? Trying to hold the relationship together, trying to hold the ship together, or...
let's say in terms of approach. Like last time when Ro was saying that he approached that cafe owner and what he heard was enough. for him to believe that he doesn't need to approach this lead, right? I'm sure you guys would have also encountered certain people who initially don't respond as per your understanding or as per your expectation.
Right.
Because I hear you guys out, right? But then you guys are not interested in giving them chance as well. Just that they behave in a certain fashion. And is it like that? Or maybe I'm just...
So funny enough, Rohit might have tried that for the fifth or the sixth time. So, I mean, there's a limit to wearing someone down also, right? Or there isn't. I mean, someone is just being persistent in trying to, sort of push their own opinion onto you. She's not interested if she said that. Just go with it. Because there have been instances where women have told me that, you know what, I've told you no, you agree to it and you move on. That's the best part.
Exactly. Yeah. So if for example, if I'm getting some red flags in my relationship, definitely I would try to seek out some solutions that how can this problem be solved. Because that was not the reason I got into a relationship with that girl. The reason was something else. And I would like to stick to that particular reason that, okay, for this reason, I like this girl. But every person has some like needs and bad phases or some or the other bad points. So we have to deal with that thing. But if it is becoming toxic for you, there's no need for actually... Let's just come to the very first point that the girl has to be complement to you, not the problem of your life. If that girl is having such a kind of problem and that is interfering with your growth and success, then why do we need to compromise with that thing? You just leave her. And
so I would sort of differ a bit over there.
Definitely.
So let's just say that a life that we have is more like a sinusoidal curve. There is going to be certain ups, there are going to be certain downs.
Definitely.
The minute you see someone down, don't kick her furthermore down, is what I would just say. If you cannot support her or help her out, try and communicate it out to her. Try and figure a way out. Like AB was trying to say, I guess he was trying to say this, that why aren't you trying to put an effort into a relationship?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's actually a problem, what even I feel.
Calling it quits is always easy.
So I'll tell this interesting bit. I mean, AB knows this. I'm not sure. Even Varun does know about this. I was in a very short 3-week relationship. I mean, not even 2 weeks of relationship. We were actually way too much into each other, and it was beautiful.
Okay.
There were certain red flags because of which, I had to call it quits. We mutually called it quits. We cried as well because we called it quits. But when he said that, why aren't they are making those people who are putting in efforts? I actually went out of my way to speak to 20 different people to figure out how can this work out. Koi bhi tarike se. Every person said there is no way it is going to work out. So you might just want to sort of put it to rest. After speaking to them, I spoke to her. I said that, you know what, this is what I think. This is the only plausible solution which I have to this. And are you up for it? She said no. I said, then I don't think this is going to work out. Because here, I'm not just looking out.
Maybe you put her on the spot. Are you up for it?
No.
Maybe it was direct. And maybe she was not ready to answer. And the obvious answer a lot of time comes no.
So
is no.
How much time do I give her? I cannot sit right there.
No, but when we ask how much time do I give her?
No, according to you, how much time do you think?
I don't know, man. How much time you got?
So I don't think I've got the time in the world to spend
to have a healthy, a beautiful relationship.
Right.
With a person.
Right.
Who's...
Hang on. Now, this is me who's wanting to have that. Is she wanting the same thing? Do I have the control in my hand? Because I gave her an option. I asked her.
And you believed what she said?
Absolutely.
And you still believe people, like all the times when we talk, when you ask, most of the times people lie.
Okay.
And lie is not always negative. It's like basically me hiding.
So let me again further to the story. I'll still add to this.
No, I mean, I again.
So now when you said that, did you give her a chance? right? So I gave her a chance.
It's not just like it's a very bold statement. Did you give her a chance? It's just that did you try to work it out? Did you try to reason with her?
Absolutely. We ended up in a 3-hour long joust. 3 hours. I was drained after that. And that's not when I told her that, this is not going to work out. I still waited.
At times I just wish,
Hang on.
we could be strangers again. It could have been so much easier to approach again, Have you ever considered maybe 2 months, 3 months down the line?
I did that.
But you cannot
I did that.
erase all the memories, no?
It cannot.
Erase all the experiences.
It doesn't. Because if you have had something very beautiful,
Yeah.
then it's a problem. Because you know it was fucking beautiful.
Yes.
So I don't know there is any way to get this back again. I would love to. That's I don't know. That was
Where is the determination then? Huh? I mean,
no. So
you have, like you said, you would love to.
So
right?
hold on. I've got other missions in life as well, right?
True.
So I mean, this cannot be the central whole command center and the whole operation to just get this thing done with. I cannot channelize so much energy as well. So there goes your answer that how much can I wait? Not for long. I've got other things because this takes out a lot of emotions out of me. I need to put in emotions at the right places where I need them to be as well. I cannot just channelize my 100% of the energy. Just
So you cannot be prioritizing people without them reciprocating.
100%. I can control things. I can channelize my energy onto things which I can control. But when you talk about putting in efforts, I do fucking put in the effort, and I wouldn't spare 2 bones in sort of wearing that with pride on my shoulders. That I did put in the effort. It didn't work out. No harm, no foul. I did try after 2 months. Didn't work out. No harm, no foul. Perfectly fine. So I just cannot do this for consistently for the next 10-15 years that, hey, maybe kabhi to wo karegi. That's just not me. Now, again, I did try to ask someone out maybe 3-4 months ago. She said that, maybe I'm not ready right now. I am still trying right now. So, again, persistence, maybe trying to wear her down. Works out, perfect. Doesn't, still perfect. The whole fact that...
Yeah, I just feel one should just not keep moving forward with the diminishing possibility of...
Correct. What he expects right now for us to do is he wants that idealistic, that one generation pehle wala. That
exactly.
What our parents... that's what I feel.
Exactly.
I mean, you can... And don't get me wrong. Look at the divorce rates today. Look at the rate that people just... They're done
Up
with
and
each
quit.
other, and
seconds.
It is sad to see. Men and women are better with each other than without, right?
Right.
But the thing is, the effort, the understanding that people want to put in is it's sad, right?
It's
that
bullshit.
people want to give up very quick, and also it's a sad lesson in life that you have to understand. Ki, theek hai, sometimes you have to let things go, and if they're really meant to be, they might eventually come back to you. Okay, but it's again, it's a tough thing to do, where you have to let people go. I mean, you know my story from like way back where I had to just let go of this particular girl that I was with, and it just happens. It's one moment it's beautiful, and the other moment it's
just
gone.
Missing. Yeah.
And if it was supposed to happen, it would be right there. But then all these years later, I understood ki, yeah, man, that was not supposed to happen.
No, so your whole happiness quotient can't be a burden on someone else, is what I would try to say.
You need internal validation, not external validation.
Exactly.
So this is the thing. I mean, be better, be an interesting person, have a great life. All those things. We're back to attracting, right? So if you're constantly rubbing with this person, ki, hey, let's do this, and they're not understanding or they don't see it the same way or whatever, what can you do at that point? You have to drop it, right? It's a tough thing to do, but when I'll tell you, when it's a good time to let someone go is when the drama is too much and the everything else, the beauty and everything is not matching up to it. That's the time where you're like, hey, the juice is not worth the squeeze. What do I do right now?
Yeah.
And it's a tough thing to do.
No,
it is so tough.
If it is taking away your emotional juices or the
It's
emotional
taking you away from
reservoir.
it's taking you
Yeah,
away
yeah.
from your purpose, your
Yeah,
everything,
yeah, yeah.
your it's your headspace is messed up. And you just have this is the tough thing to do. You have to drop it at that point. So this is the thing. I mean, in today's dating world, or in today's world in general, people have so much options. I would love to see a world where people just put in the effort and
Do you think like this is what happens when there's a lot of confidence in the society in men and women both?
In what ways?
There's no dependency. Basically, women look at men as if they don't need them to complete them. Men look at women knowing that this is not
one
So
area which we are.
So basically, I feel a thriving relation would be lacking and providing, where men and women have role reversals. Where woman lacks, man provides. Where man lacks, woman provides.
Right. So I mean, playing in each other's gaps.
I think
and
we've got a lot of
filling those-
alpha male and alpha women, like females.
Hmm.
Like, do you think it is because of that? Like people,
I doubt it.
because people see. I'll tell you, like it's not just that the tolerance has reduced. I feel the confidence has increased that this is not my destiny to be.
it's a lot of societal
struggling in this relation just because my parents deem fit. So people have gradually become confident that they
Exactly.
feel
So-
they can break
so
those
much-
shackles and come out of it and lead an independent life, find their own path. So I think this is what confidence also does and has done.
No. So now one question.
I've never come
No,
across
my very fundamental question is,
any divorcee who lacked confidence.
okay, amen to her and to you as well. But then my only question here would be, why would you want to get out of a beautiful relationship when the both of you are confident about it?
So basically, when there are common grounds for love, when you find love in each other, the relationship sustains.
Okay.
But the minute you feel the scope is lost, I mean, there is nothing to be found on the horizon, right?
Okay.
Then that's when you start doubting the existence or the longevity of it.
So again, I'll
In
quote
general, I
you
mean-
itself. Why don't you then put in efforts in renewing your love? Why don't you take...
My exes
No.
renewing my love as well.
By renewing your love with a particular relationship that you are in. Now you are an alpha. Your significant other is an alpha. Let's just say for
Assume, because I don't feel I'm alpha.
yeah, right. कुछ भी. So both alphas.
मैं confused हो गया थोड़ा.
So
please.
So both alphas are definitely at their peak in whatever they are. And let's just assume that perhaps this relationship is going ideally the way you want it to happen.
Okay.
So in that scenario, definitely no one's looking to run out of it. Am I good till here?
Like making sense here.
मतलब
Yeah, I mean,
till the time you
things
don't...
are magnetic.
चल रहा है. Everything is going well. I mean, you appreciate a conversation on the dinner table. She appreciates that, and it's going pretty well. And जो भी है, मतलब you guys are leading your life. Maybe you have kids or whatever.
All right.
Now come to cut two, wherein both of you again are alphas. Here she's not finding things which you can add to her. You're not finding things which she can add to you. So there is some sort of an intellectual gap maybe, which is happening. So are you
That
guys...
will cause grievance.
100% that you don't have common topics to talk about. You don't have
You disagree a lot. You start disagreeing a lot
but
with your partner.
okay.
You've stopped finding common grounds.
So here is where you would need to put in the effort, right? In renewing your love here.
Yes.
That why don't we
So
take a vacation
someone
together?
has to take a bow.
Not exactly take a...
Probably. Try to work it out. If you have an innate need to feel right always, does that make you a terribly bad person? Does that make you a terribly bad mother of my kid? You just need to have the satisfaction of winning the argument always.
Okay.
Let's consider. I mean, I dated a chick once. I mean, she always had this, she wanted me to apologize for something even she's done wrong and she won't accept. And
So-
I let her win.
Ever ever tried holding your ground there?
That I won't bow. Obviously, I did. That relation didn't last long. She left me for someone
Perfect.
better.
Perfect.
So no good deed goes unpunished in a way. But then again,
no, but I guess then you're better off, right? Instead of someone trying to pull you down.
I mean, like I didn't. So I don't want to feel the way I felt before when I was in relationship. I've been vulnerable. So this particular vulnerability is something which I'm not open to accept.
So
that's why I prefer being single.
So I think you did the perfect thing by holding your ground out there, because I know it's difficult. I couldn't do that. The minute she would say, you know what, it's your fault. I'm sorry, baby. Well, how can
because
we?
You want to make it work because
exactly
you feel you need her more than she needs you.
But that's kind of.
And you've accepted it.
Kind of. So that is pedestalizing right there.
And you start making it your reality.
But when there are two alphas, such power games is very rare. Is what
and I
would
think
say.
there are no power struggles also in
never
when there are two alphas in a relation. There's no power struggle because they understand ultimately what power is.
Right.
I mean, you were talking about bowing down. Someone needs to bow. You both have to take turns bowing down for something or the other. It's going to happen anyway.
100%.
Exactly.
Yeah. The vocabulary that you bring in, right?
But if it's you every time who's kneeling,
that's a problem.
Yeah, then those are red flags.
No, that's not going to work out. You're gonna either you're going to be quiet for so long that you explode one fine day.
Passive, aggressive, perhaps.
Or you'll have to stand your ground then and there, what you did, and just end it right there. You know, it's not going to work
instead
out.
of ending, also at times a woman does see that this guy is holding his grounds for the right thing. A high value woman would appreciate that and say that what, you did the right thing. If you cannot cough up the courage to stand tall in front of me, how will you protect me in front of the whole world?
Yep.
As simple as that. I mean, that's one power display which you definitely would want to ideally do. But again, still coming back to the alphas and the alphas, I don't seem to find a problem here, apart from the fact that you are actually not putting in effort to your relationship.
So that's what I was talking about, confidence. Like you can jump to conclusions pretty quick also based on your temperament. One reason is probably good enough for someone to take an action that I want to call it quits, or probably 10 reasons or 100 reasons. But then the confidence that I will survive, that I will still live happily despite this woman or despite this man being in my life. This confidence I'm talking about. So self-belief leads to confidence, right? So in a way, individually, people are growing, which is very good. The dependency of them onto other human beings is gradually reducing. And maybe that is also a reason, a tiny substrata, like a very small element of the reason as to why the relations are not lasting or surviving enough in a way that used to in the past.
That's true. A lot of societal programming
we have to open that Pandora box.
You know what I think is that earlier we should not say the relationships were lasting long. Actually, the thing is that people were actually accepting the toxicity. You could have seen that a neighborhood, they are actually fighting with each other like day and night, and still
married for 70 years and 60 years,
but still they are like they're surviving this toxic relationship. Now the tolerance has decreased so much that I'm not gonna bear your shit. Go away. So it's like that basically. It's not like that the relationships were used to survive earlier a lot for years and years, and nowadays it's not surviving just because people
because the parental programming was done in such a unique fashion.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like
so
I remember specifically a man who drinks and beats the shit out of his wife.
Yeah.
Her in-laws, the lady's in-laws and her parents too. What they like, I've like heard it secondhand, but this was one thing very unique.
Yeah.
The parents of that lady said, "You should go for another kid." They already had one kid.
It's just messed up.
Go for another kid. That will distract things. I mean, how fucked up are you?
Exactly.
To bring another life and
or
fuck
maybe
his
they
life
didn't have any kid, and they're like, have a baby.
Yeah, you're furthering the train wreck.
So basically what happens, I'll tell you. What happens, I'll tell you. You are single, you've just been married a year and you feel this is way too toxic for you to handle. So the parents are trying to implement indirectly, have a kid, and then you will be further grounded. And then you will be further compelled to last that relation because women didn't have a place in the society.
So here, I think the word you're looking for is investments. The person is more invested when they have a child together. And that's where...
Or maybe that was a very fucked up way of selling their kids
Exactly.
to ensure that they'll stay in the relation because
That's messed up.
she's single, she doesn't have a kid, she still feels that she's beautiful and this and that, and she could still find a husband, a second one.
Of course.
Oh, have a kid. This will enrich your relation. And maybe what they meant indirectly was you will become unsellable. You won't be as pretty as you are now, and gradually your confidence is
Now
going
you're
to be
stuck.
fucked.
Exactly.
And
you will not
and
demand
you are
this
stuck.
kind of
You
things.
can't move anywhere. So obviously you will try to find love in the beating that you're getting.
Also, one thing that they're actually thinking is it'll make the man more responsible when he can't be responsible with one kid. Forget the kid. When he can't be
So-
responsible with...
and-
It's never going to
I
happen.
mean,
I'm with
Come
you
to
guys.
think of it, men have been a primary driver of all the fuck up that has happened in the society. Women have been too.
Oh, I have
Because
seen...
all this counseling, all this shit of being in that toxic relation, what will the society say? Who you will marry next? Who's going to marry you? What do you think you are? Were all set by women.
Right.
And there was no compulsion. There was no compulsion for them to do that. Why couldn't they just say, like, fuck him, fuck my husband too? That happens to be your father, who still feels that women are not supposed to go out, women are not supposed to pursue this or that. They instead played that huge part
So the whole societal
of
pressure,
reiterating.
which you're saying is coming from either the mother or the father of the...
Both played it well.
100%.
Both played it well.
And not just that, but even when you see a lot of stories coming out in the news, stories coming out in the movies, in soap operas.
A mother-in-law tortures her daughter-in-law. A daughter-in-law who endured the pain and the sufferings firsthand through a mother-in-law need not pass it on to her daughter-in-law, right?
100%.
But no, they do. They do. Because that is the revenge, the sweet one. That obviously, see, if you remember, like I used to always tell you, the people who've helped me are way too big to seek help from me. Like someone like Rizwan had given me 30K to like explore whether I wanted to do something in the stock market. I lost that money, it's a different thing. But I could never try to help because he's way above. With time, he's grown much bigger. So I can only give it down, right? Help someone out. The same thing happens with all the shit that you witness in life. They could not give it back to their mother-in-law. The only way for them to, the only point of ventilation is the upcoming daughter-in-law. Let's fuck her up. My mother-in-law used to beat me up. Isko jala dete hain.
That's just messed up. How many?
That is how it has happened, right?
How many scenes have you seen of this type?
I come from North India. How many do you want to know?
No, in your
A lot.
personal experience.
Like, to be again honest, I mean, my fingers
Would
are
be
short.
lesser.
Yeah, more than 10.
So in my family, it's been quite a topsy-turvy. I mean, to be honest, the closest people I've seen, their mother-in-laws were tyrants to their daughter-in-laws. That is my nannies and all those. They've been gems with
To their daughter-in-laws, right?
daughter-in-laws, son-in-laws, whoever.
So it all depends on person to person, right?
Perhaps.
A lot of, see, you just try and understand how the people have grown up without having the need to even realize the need. People who've grown up in 1 RK will seek comfort in 1 BHK. if their kids complain of how small the house is, they would rather try to convince or enforce, like, this is way bigger than what I had. Right? Have they ever felt the need to challenge the thought? Anything? I mean, now we've gone way past our topic, but again, I mean, it's all fucked up, you know? It's all fucked up. Any person who cannot challenge the ideology, it starts with just challenging. Just challenge without any head or toe. And then gradually you learn, like, there are major flaws. I used to challenge the ideology of my parents. Aise hi. I just don't want to say yes. But then gradually I started learning that they've been through a lot. And obviously they did not pass on that shit to me. But then they have that notion that what they've done is pretty good.
So for them, I think they consider themselves as a winner. So I guess I know we are diverting massively.
True.
Maybe we would.
Yeah, this could be another.
No, definitely that'll be more of the family relationship bit. But again, if I still talk about it from a family dynamics standpoint, definitely a lot of things are as a burden on our parents when they've been through whatever. They've been a victim of their own demons.
My grandmother's been so strict on her daughter-in-laws. I mean, when we were born, now that we started growing old, like that's when I started seeing, when me and my elder sister started back answering my dad and my grandmother and even my mom, I think that led or that put some amount of courage in my mom to ki हाँ ये भी कर सकते हैं. My parents come from a generation where if the father is in the house, they could not even look up. My mom used to say, हम तो दादाजी को या पिताजी को ऊपर ऐसे देखते भी नहीं थे आंखों में. और तुम्हें पापा कुछ बोल देते थे, your father tells you something and just look at the amount of aggression you guys have.
And times have changed.
Absolutely. And that's how maybe she learned. I've seen her, like, you know, again, my grandmother comes from a time when she was tortured by her mother-in-law. So they just feel this is the right way to deal with shit. औरत को मुट्ठी में रखना चाहिए, अंगूठी के नीचे. I'm very convinced this came out from a woman. This was not a man. A man was never interested in all this household bullshit. He was maybe out working or out fucking or doing something.
Drinking.
Yeah. A lot of things, but never this.
No, I've heard this from a woman that the only people who are jealous of other women are other women. I mean, only people who are jealous of women are women.
A man would never be jealous of a woman.
We don't care.
Why would I?
Care.
It gives me a very strange idea.
Yeah, I know.
Why would we be jealous of women?
I mean, she looks beautiful. Why would I be jealous of you?
Exactly.
She's got better hair than me. I mean,
Guys, I need to remind you, there's a 19-year-old listening to this podcast right now, and he's just asking, how do I get the girls, man?
Oh, yeah.
Get skilled, get some skills.
So here's the thing I wanted to ask all of us, actually.
Yeah.
Now that we've grown old, we've been through the whole, I mean, we're still young.
Yeah.
Now that we've been through all this learning,
Massive
okay,
learning.
what if you could go back to that 16, 17-year-old
Version of ourselves.
Yeah. What would you really... If I could go back to that Varun who was sitting practicing Green Day and Megadeth songs, being this angry teenager in his bedroom at the age of 16. Actually, Virat was with me. We were having a drink when I was that age. So if we go back, exactly
no wonder
the right
drinking. Let's just say that.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Exactly, we were 18.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry, we were.
No, yeah.
So what would I tell that guy? Okay, what I would really tell that guy is, hey, be the best version of yourself. Have your shit together. Be an interesting person. Be attractive. You know, go out, lift heavy shit. Be in shape.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Be attractive. Have a nice style. Be comfortable with women.
Be comfortable with yourself.
With yourself, obviously. Yeah, exactly. We're going inwards, right?
Yeah.
Be comfortable with yourself. Be confident with yourself.
100%.
And just be fun to be with.
Exactly.
And you will automatically attract
women.
You know, exactly.
Yep.
This is what I would say.
Right.
So be attractive so you can attract
So
easily.
I'll tell you this funny thing which I was actually listening to, that why do men do things that they do things? I mean, why does a man go out and earn? To get some action. Why does a man go out and lift weights? To get some action. Why does a man pick up some interesting hobbies? To get some action. So, I mean, the whole world freaking is, it was very funnily put in.
There's a book about this by this great author named Aaron Cleary. It's called Book of Numbers.
Okay.
And he's told the exact same thing. Anything you look out your window, everything you see is because men want to get laid.
Yeah, exactly.
They built bridges so they could get to their wives back home sooner. They built trains, so blah, blah, blah. Anything and everything that you see outside is because men wanted to just...
Absolutely. Just go in and get themselves
Exactly. And rather, you would find something in the lives of men which is actually made for not having sex or not getting laid or something. But anything or everything which is there in lives of women is to attract other males. Is actually...
Okay.
It works both ways. Exactly.
Yeah, 100%. It does.
All the beauty products, all the other things, everything is to attract men towards them.
Men or whoever they...
I feel men at times are way too simple.
In terms of...
बहुत चूतिया है आदमी. I mean, we read way too much at times. We infer way too much.
Okay.
We gather way too much.
Overthink the shit out of it.
All in an attempt to deduce something.
Like
right?
a
And we
secret
find
formula.
that process very seductive.
Yeah.
Deducing something is way more seductive, I'll tell you. Because the accomplishment that at times when I'm judging someone and if I turn out to be right, and I mean, it's the most epic shit of the day. I mean, that's the highlight of the day. If I'm able to foretell something.
Like I told you so moment.
Not to someone's face, but to myself. Fuck, I guessed it right. That way, like, there's way too deduction happening. I mean, since I'm single, that's all I do.
Yeah.
No, so we do have that one person, right? I mean, who's been having a lot of gods in his temple and perhaps just trying to deduce to that one secret formula.
You get it all fucked. I mean, in the pursuit of what? You compromise your own values. You let your values, your integrity or your own thought process take a backseat and you invite others. Like education is good. Being educated is superb.
So getting a perspective is good, I would say.
Educating yourself, like knowing what's out there, knowing all the religions is superb.
Yeah.
And then you cherry picking how to implement from which book is brilliance. Brilliance.
But I'll ask you one thing. Do you think there is a formula, a perfect formula for a perfect relationship?
No, I don't believe. Actually, what I think is...
Perfect formula, why not?
You have? Okay.
I mean, for the relation to sustain?
No.
Okay, wait. I really want to hear this. Come on.
No, I mean, maybe
I
I got the question right. See, the attempt to always jumping to conclusion, deduction. So what was the question again?
So the question was that with having so many gods in your temple, with having so many books at your discretion, with so many knowledges coming...
Self-help and every shit coming your way.
Probably all the torrential amount of books in the world coming to your rescue. Have you deduced a formula for eternal marriage, for eternal cold approach, for eternal confidence, or for eternal anything for that matter? Is the whole concept of perfection actually true?
No, it doesn't exist. It's all bullshit. It's made up.
That's what I was trying to sort of come up to. If Bhavesh, you were saying something.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, what? Yeah, please, Varun, complete your sentence.
No, I was going to actually ask you if you could go back to the 17-year-old Bhavesh.
Yeah.
Who doesn't even know he's going to be a professor just yet. Okay. What would you tell him that, hey, to
buy
succeed
crypto.
with...
Yeah, definitely. I would say that too.
Buy fucking crypto.
Yes. खरीद ले 10-15,000 खरीद ले Bitcoin.
Dumb motherfucker. That's what I would have said.
I mean, to get comfortable and to succeed with, quote unquote, if you could see me right now, quote unquote, succeed with women, what would you tell the 17-year-old Bhavesh?
Get skilled, first of all. Have a kind of talent or a value, a public value, which will actually keep on charge, which will never get you demotivated. For example, having a confidence in that sense. For example, a public validation always brings confidence in you. Always being known by a society in a very good manner. For example, since my college days, I was a very popular guy in my college. If you even if you go today and ask Watchman and show my picture, do you know this guy? He will definitely say yes.
Watchman bhi line marta tha.
No, definitely I'm saying this. No, line wali baat nahi. Because
Where have you studied from?
I've studied from Chembur, Swami VAbE.
Swami. Oh wow.
Yeah, exactly.
Pretty strict, huh?
And the other one is Pillai College. Yeah.
Wow.
So in both the guys, in both the places, I was pretty much popular because of my art, of my performing arts. So I was a stage guy, always a known face. So I've always got that value for that validation from people and all that thing. And I would definitely tell my version of 17 that you could have definitely charged it up in a very in other manner, so that keeps you on getting received, like till now also. For example, after I left college, that validation and that all these things stopped immediately. Like, I'm no more a popular guy. Like the people who used to know me are decreasing day by day. For example, if I'm walking towards my college, there are 2-3 people. Hey Bhavesh, how are you? So like I'm for every 2-3 steps, I have to wave to someone. So that gives me validation. Okay, I'm a known person. So that gives me confidence. And even if a girl is not talking to me or someone is not talking to me, I'm still confident in my own self. Okay, but I did not develop a skill which will actually make me confident after the college. What after college? What after my working space? Exactly.
Internal validation.
Exactly. So that is what I would tell myself, tell my 17-year self, that develop something in your personality which will keep you going to, like towards the eternity. That you are going to get validation, self-validation from or self-motivation to actually go.
See,
there.
this is the thing. People love watching a guy with fire in his belly doing shit.
Of course.
Doing some stuff.
Having a purpose.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about stage. I've been a musician. I've played like big stages, thousands of. So I never had that go to anyone and talk sort of a thing because I perform on stage regularly. So I never had that. It was my whatever stage anxiety, the stage fear thing that I had was clear in my initial days of playing college fests and all that when I was 16, 17. And then after doing it so much and after doing it for a living, it's like it should be very easy for you to just go walk up to anyone, notice something about them. Okay, like what we call opinion opener in the cold approach thing.
Exactly.
Okay, but just anything and just open up a conversation, ask questions. Women love answering questions. If we're back to the
Not
dating
interviewing,
thing,
of course, but a question maybe.
Yeah, but just be fun.
Absolutely. I mean, it
Just
shouldn't
be
be
fun.
a KBC or a...
Exactly. Yeah, it shouldn't be a KBC.
Yeah, definitely. Like the opinion opener which we actually talked about that day. For example, if you are the girl and if I want to have an opinion opener to you, for example, hey, excuse me, do you think I look gay in this t-shirt? Because one of my friends thinks like that. So she will definitely burst out loud of the
Way to go, man.
Yeah, exactly, definitely. So that's an opinion. That's an opinion opener, basically. So in some way, so the other thing which Varun just asked me, that what would you tell your 17-year-old self? So I would say that build some self-validation system which will actually give you confidence toward the end of your life. So I'm still figuring out how to exactly build it up. But
that's there. But I mean, it's a journey which we are still right on.
Right.
It's gonna take us some time. But if I had to tell my 16-year-old self, I would say stop moping, stop crying, get yourself up and get yourself out there and do the work. Sure. I mean, even I was at a place where college used to be a kingdom where I would fucking rule. I knew people who's who. Some people I know from back then are still around that area. We still call that as RD. There are places there to sit and drink, and these guys are still there. And if you see, I don't know, we graduated in 2011.
You
These
graduated in
guys have graduated in 2008, 9, 6.
Way before.
Way before. They're still there. I mean, it almost reminds me of DJ from RDB, Rang De Basanti.
Okay.
He's graduated since a while. He's still there. I mean, for them, that whole kingdom that they've created, the validation circle which they have, it's been just that. And then it's difficult for you to get out of it. I mean, now, like you beautifully said that, I am going to remind myself of, fucking doing the work and getting yourself out there and building those skill sets, or lifting weights, or going out there playing, or I used to dance, pick up dancing back again. Why not? I mean, so I did that later, of course, but then, I mean, no regrets now. But certainly, I mean, getting complacent is not the way to go. A man has to put in the work. You like it, you don't, deal with it. I mean, that's just how it is. So, I guess who was that person who was talking about this, that once you come to birth, you already are all in.
I also saw that video.
Remember? Was it Jordan Peterson? I'm not sure.
I believe, yeah.
So once you have born, you are on this earth, you're all in.
Already all in. Why do we keep thinking like, why do your bank balance matter, your possessions matter? I mean,
you're already all in such a way that the only way you're going to get out of this is through death.
correct.
And that's something which is inevitable. You know that's going to come at some point of time. Why aren't you living?
The only thing, there was a video of Salma Hayek where
Okay.
she was saying ki there's only one thing we humans cannot overcome is our own death.
Definitely.
Of course. There's everything you can overcome.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Every freaking thing. Just put in the work. Just find that one string you just would need. Hold on to it. And get yourself out of it. It's quite possible.
Yeah.
I would tell the 17-year-old me. Actually, I was working when I was 17 years old. So in my opinion, I was already doing it right. But I would just tell myself don't lose yourself for other people's, fondness in you, for their happiness, for them to like you. Don't be that. Don't give a fuck.
Of course.
I'm way too brutal now. I barely regret, but if I were to call it a regret, it would have been I should have started sooner. That's the only thing.
That's true. I mean, the same thing what you were saying. I think there's one of these other quotes which said, you're thinking anyway, so think big.
Of course.
So that
खाना है
thing,
तो
I mean,
हफ्ते का भूखा होगा.
साता है क्यों खा रहे हो बे? चूहे हुए की पॉटी खा रहे हो?
So it's always, for anything that is imaginable, it is conquerable. What you cannot conquer is what you cannot imagine.
Yeah.
And this
Amen.
is by me, this could go up on our page.
Yeah, for sure. वो unknown की जगह AB Chan आ रहा है.
I mean, isn't it
You remember
beautiful?
that now?
No, I don't.
Oh, we have it recorded.
Yeah, we could just rewind.
I wanted to-
anything that is imaginable is conquerable. What you cannot imagine is what cannot be conquered.
Amazing.
Actually, this is my honest opinion. Whenever I think of anything, like I have still not been able to have a vision board, because my opinion of vision board is there's a distinction between goals and dreams. Goals are any day achievable. These are what you set that you can definitely
Exactly.
conquer.
Yeah.
It might seem impossible. Like if I show you my vision board from back in 2013, you might feel that, oh, this is bullshit. I mean, how can one do that? But that is your opinion, right? My opinion of me will always be higher. So I always feel like, my fear, what do I fear the most is, am I imagining enough? Is my imagination at par where I want to be at that level? What I would always fear is imagining small. Like there's a quote, like beautiful thing. Like I've reinstalled Stepset Go, and there's Zahir Khan promoting 21 days, 100 kilometers, 21 days, 240 kilometers. And what he says is, छोटे छोटे goal बड़े-बड़े गोल सेट करने से, बड़े-बड़े गोल सेट करके you set bigger goals and fail. It's better to set smaller goals and achieve. And I feel that is like
Wrong.
that is basically firstly allowing, which again is bold, but promoting people and like letting people think that downplaying themselves is good. Like I read a quote somewhere. The problem with this generation is that they aim low and hit
Why don't you aim for the stars and maybe reach for the
and
sky?
miss. That should be the point.
Actually, here comes the other thing. Actually, we are again distracting from the topic.
No,
still,
but
but
we
the
can.
thing is-
We're way far off that
no,
road.
but I guess let's put a logical end to this as well,
Yeah.
or maybe put it to a beautiful
yeah.
place. Yeah, go
Yeah,
on.
so I just wanted to add these things that one should always have three things set in their life. What I have learned like so far, that you should always have a mission, a vision, and some values. So a vision should be something which is unachievable, which you can never achieve. And that should be the long-term goal up till your death. For example, my vision could be to remove poverty from this world, which can never be achieved. Which can never be achieved. Like a day will never come that there is one particular homeless person. There is no homeless person in this country or in this world. There is always gonna be someone homeless. So that person is poor. That means poverty is there. So poverty cannot be killed in any way. But my goal is to kill poverty. So that is my vision basically. My mission will be the next step. That how I'm gonna conquer that vision. How can I get to that particular goal, that long-term goal? How, like for example, the process basically. If I'm saying that the vision is to kill poverty, I'm going to have a plan to kill poverty. So my mission is to go to that particular vision. My values will help me to work on my vision, basically. So the vision is something which actually he is saying, right? So the vision should be long-term goal, which can never be achieved. The mission is something which is actually keep on telling you to keep going on your vision, and the values are actually helping you. For example, punctuality, loyalty, and all these things are going to help you to work on your mission. I hope that sums up the situation basically, because there are some certain things which can never be achieved, which can never be fulfilled.
100%.
And that is something which actually he meant by
aiming for the stars and reaching for the sky.
Exactly. Yeah, that is what. So you can never reach to the stars, but still
you could make it to the sky
exactly.
at least. Why
Yeah,
not?
that is what the thing is.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, instead of cribbing about how to remove poverty and, this government regime is bullshit, that government regime is bullshit,
Exactly.
put in the work.
Right.
Put in the effort.
Exactly.
Start off small, maybe touch one person's life. Perhaps that helps.
Right.
Which is still your mission. I mean, come on,
Right,
you're
right.
still walking towards your vision, right?
Yeah. That is what the thing is.
Again, I think, Varun, you were actually, sort of picking up that particular beautiful or not so beautiful or whatever type of a topic in terms of that Pandora's box. I mean, okay, so let me kind of try to create this out here. I was reading a particular article where the highest court in Australia gave a free chit to this guy who was apparently following, the Indian guy who was apparently following some lady and making her feel uncomfortable. But to his defense, he said that I found that to be right because that was a part of the movies that I have seen while I was in India. Growing up and those things. And he got a clean chit.
What a way.
I mean, now think about this. So even the government, or no, pardon me, even the judicial system is saying that, these movies do freaking influence you or your way to approach a particular dating scenario. Now, like you were saying, like there were certain social stigmas where people would feel very, very out of place to go and approach someone just randomly. Right? I mean, wo kya sochegi? What would these guys think? What would some other person think? Or what if she is this? What if she is that? And What if my mom tells me that we shouldn't do this? XYZ, random 10,000 different things. But apart from that, when you're actually sitting at your home peacefully and trying to get some entertainment, watching a movie or watching your favorite sitcom, those things do try to shape you up in terms of what type of a person you are, and you try to quote them as well. I remember there were times when we were quoting our Mananiya Shri Shri Zakir Naik. No, Zakir Khan. Naik.
Zakir Khan.
Zakir Khan. No, pardon me, it's not Naik Khan.
Exactly, it's Zakir Khan.
Ghar pe kanga
It's not the Naik.
Ghar pe kanga hai.
Ghar pe kanga. So just to quickly, basically when you said that
No,
the
but
movie is
but-
shaping the way,
Correct,
right?
the Sakt Londa.
Reminds me immediately of a movie where RSTDM, the actress, who was the actress?
Diya Mirza.
Diya Mirza and Imran Hashmi. They were a part of a movie where it's raining and Imran Hashmi sees Diya Mirza at a bus stop, and I don't know what arousal he has internally, and he just goes there and smooches her.
So we must realize that not everyone is Imran Hashmi. First off.
Absolutely, but that becomes a basis for a lot of people to pursue their fantasy.
I have to tell you a really fun fact. I still have your number saved in my phone as Abhishek Sakti se.
Oh, seriously? Is it?
So Zakir Khan
led
right
you
there, no?
to
उन दिनों में those were the jokes that we were cracking. Just as a fun thing.
Remember, we were in those times, right? अपन तो शक्ति से जीते अपने घर पे कंगा है. So, I mean, that does kind of define, right? At that moment. So it becomes like an affirmation for yourself. You're saying that back time and again to yourself. अरे अपने घर पे कंगा.
till it becomes your reality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's so fucking messed up. You're not having a good conversation about yourself.
मेरे घर पे कंगा ही है. You guys came out of it. Man, I'm still left there, I feel.
No, so I guess now is the time I am
Pull me
inviting
back.
you. Come on.
I'm just kidding. I'm happy.
No, let me take a go at this one.
Yeah, please.
So right from you are born, you're being constantly bombarded and programmed with some agenda or the other. And here comes these movies and the music culture, the movie culture, and your sitcom culture, media culture in general, that you have to do anything and everything for this one special girl, and you have to give everything to you have to give up everything, go head over heels for her, and she is supposed to be the one. My journey began with when an ex-girlfriend of mine showed me the movie Before Sunrise with Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy. Where two people meet on a train. It's the cliche to the note romantic, The Notebook.
Yeah.
And, so and
Ugly
so. And,
Truth and all those
God,
rom-coms,
don't
yeah.
get me. I'm already, you'll get the natural cringe reaction from me now.
Okay.
I used to be a sucker for all that stuff.
Me too.
Okay.
Who hasn't been?
Exactly.
I mean,
So you come up thinking that, this is how it's supposed to be.
Exactly.
You watch an Enrique music video and you're like, this is how it's supposed to be. You have to, that somebody's me, right?
Yeah,
That's
of course.
remember that song?
Tonight I'm fucking you.
I can be your hero, baby.
Yeah,
Okay, so on and so forth. So, it's great music. Come on. I love those songs. But then it has influenced you in such a way that you're like, okay, for people who are listening to this, tell me one time where you've tried acting a scene from a movie, you've really tried doing what they show in the movies or the shows, and it's worked out for you. It's and it's worked out positively for you in the long run or whatever.
Never. I won't be able to. Sorry.
Till the time you guys are thinking. So basically, my thought of love and the pursuit of it was keep reinforcing. Like when I had my first breakup, I probably now when I look back at it, I was a wannabe Devdas. I wanted to convince myself, and I was successful at convincing myself that this was it. This was the love of my life. She's not interested in me now. We dated 11 months and some 22 days. I remember it precisely. She was the first love. And I wanted to be the absolute, the person I could be to win her back. If she could live with me once, why can't she live with me again? Where is my chance?
Yeah,
And
this whole thought of
pursued
that
her,
she
and this
is
so
the one.
fucked up. When I look at it, when I try to understand from her standpoint, me chasing her constantly,
Trying
how
to wear her down.
uncomforting
Yeah, absolutely.
it would have been, man. I mean,
Absolutely.
what an
So
asshole I was.
that's what I was trying to tell you previously, right? I cannot wear someone down as well. There has to be a point wherein I have to say that, she means no. A simple consent. Does a no mean yes? Then that's her problem. That's her burden to bear if she's not communicating as clear as possible.
Exactly, yeah.
Correct.
For me,
Yes.
I see it for what it is. If she says no, it means no, period. Do I try again? Maybe sometime later. Still she says no, then I actually just let it be.
Take her word for it.
Of course.
Absolutely.
The first time was enough. The consent matters a lot. But then when you come from a place where she is just the one, there cannot be anyone better than her, that's messed up. That's just messed up.
I mean, that's the thing. There are no ones. There are good ones. There are bad ones. But there are no ones. Like
The only one.
That one-itis is what the term is.
Correct.
You have this crippling situation where you think, okay, this girl is everything, your world. You'll never find anyone like her.
Definitely.
It's insane.
Because
I
you've
mean,
become complacent.
Yeah.
I mean, you've become fucking lazy. You
No,
don't
so-
want to go out there, go through the entire process of opening up, impressing, and
No,
this
hang
and
on,
that.
hang on. If she's genuinely helping your cause, certainly if she's the one, amen to that. But if she's actually wearing you down, if she's actually pulling you back, if she's actually making you run away from your mission, vision, and values,
Mhm. Big no.
that's when you actually need to, not have that conversation. She's the one. There's not going to be anyone else apart from
Exactly.
her.
Yep.
So certainly you need to value each other in a relationship, right? I mean,
Right.
why the hell are you together? If you don't value each other, if you don't see her in certain lights, this is what she is, and this is what I appreciate about her, and this is what I would want to witness as a part of her partner or whatever, for that matter, whatever conversation you have. But you cannot just try to console yourself. No, things are going to be better. She's just the one, and you know what? I think I just need to stay and just be persistent in doing what is
So,
what
but
matters.
here I would like to ask one question: that do you think that if Bollywood didn't exist, or the picture of Bollywood which is there in our mind right now, if this didn't exist, the scenario of dating in India would have been different, or the kind of romance which we actually present in front of each our partners would have been in a different way. For example,
course.
Shah Rukh Khan, for that matter, he taught us that how to be romantic in that manner. For example, singing songs and the way of expression of your love to your partner. Actually, it has been taught to us, like majority of the things.
So there's an era for everything.
Exactly,
Right? The
yeah.
problem with it is not changing.
Right.
The way he's been impressing his co-stars, the actresses, stays the same. I heard somewhere when Salman was being criticized about the movies he tries to make, he said, I make movies for rickshawalas, taxi drivers, tier 2, tier 3 audience. They are my true fans. I make movies for them. But you fucking never do anything different. You ensure that they stay the same.
So you want to hold your audience.
So basically, exactly, your audience, when they look up to you, your character in movies should also evolve. When you keep being the same, that's when people stop watching you.
No, so now we're getting to more of character, but now what I would like to still focus on is how such medias have shaped us as a mindset that we have. First off, plain and simple, the thing that we started off with, fear of rejection. Do you think that media setting certain false pretenses in terms of, how a man should definitely look like, or how a woman should look like, then she is pretty, or then he is amazing, handsome, confident, perhaps is what has driven us to kind of be
I believe
operating out of fear?
70s were more responsible actors. 70s, 80s.
I love the 70s.
Where they were less
Totally.
groomed.
Totally.
They were raw, real. They were like, yeah, this is who I am. Elvis
the
Presley.
Chest
Absolutely.
hair coming out of the
Yeah.
shirt.
That was a sign of manliness.
High-fiving.
Yeah.
Exactly. And now the
This
entire
is the
concept
thing.
has been
They've
changed.
not only shaped our perspective as men, they've shaped the perspective of women also. They've equally
100%.
damaged them. Now
Bloody, you
that's
don't
the
accept yourself the way you are.
I
There are
read somewhere.
Why
expectations
does
now.
grooming?
No.
Why is grooming become so compulsory?
No. Again, so
Where are the
Looking-
days of the bush?
okay. But now look, so grooming to a level of looking presentable is fine. But standards wherein you need to inject things in your body, you need to remove out things. So now I don't know if you guys know of this. There are certain said actresses or certain said film stars, females, who've removed out 2 of their ribs so that they get that perfect
Slender body,
hourglass.
exactly. Yeah.
Last time I heard of removing ribs was Marilyn Manson, where he could stimulate
Yeah, of
himself with
course.
his
Yeah.
mouth.
Yeah, those two.
But
floating
I'm
ribs
not
out of
aware.
there.
I mean, this has happened.
Yep,
Are we
yep.
talking about Bollywood?
Yes.
Yes,
And even Hollywood as well.
Yes.
So in
Fuck
general,
Hollywood. Bollywood? People
Yeah.
have gone that far?
Yeah, yes.
Definitely.
A lot of models do that.
I mean,
actually, for that matter.
nose jobs,
Botoxes.
Botoxes, lip
Bloody
jobs.
nose jobs, lip jobs are now they've been
Plastic
passed down
surgery.
from actresses to influencers now.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
A lot of
plastic
female
surgeries,
influencers that I
everything.
know of
Yes,
have
yes.
done all these
Of
jobs.
course. Of course.
Yeah, right.
Of course. So,
You're running away from who you really are.
Right.
You care
I am
so
today
much about
actually.
being accepted by the people who think least of you.
I mean, sure,
This
you're
is the
their
thing.
fans, yeah.
It's about time people unplug from this. You win by withdrawing your power. Where you give your attention, that thing grows, right? I mean, we're talking like on a higher plane now.
Yeah.
But stop giving your attention to crap. Just like
No,
and
so
see how
it for
the
what it
quality
is.
of your life improves suddenly.
100%. So see it for what it is. It is entertainment. Leave it at it. And you want to work things on yourself, then you can go out there and do the work. Present yourself in such a way that you look presentable, at least to yourself. Bathe every day, get a haircut, or do whatever you can, at least to look decent and presentable. I am not asking you to go out there and freaking inject yourself with some steroids and kind of hurt yourself to reach to a
Exactly.
standard which is absurd. Those guys are doing that for
And
a
these are
living.
temporary.
100%. And the troubles are long term.
Exactly. But the grooming part on that matter, I would say that it's required. It's
Yeah, last time we
Because
were covering, right?
Yeah, right.
Less
Because
is
it
more
has-
and
yeah, less is more and all the looks and all. So that 70s era, it was different, and people were having a different kind of demand in the you can say society or something like that. If you see your father's picture in their young days, so he would definitely have a big mustache and long long hair and all these things
And bell bottoms and,
yeah, bell
yeah.
bottoms and
Huge
that would make them
sideburns.
look
sideburns.
good.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And that would make them look good in their era.
Correct.
So if you do the same thing today, that might not
That'll be a
make you look.
cosplay.
Yeah, exactly.
That'll be a cosplay for sure.
Exactly.
It's a
Yeah.
tribute to cosplay. I mean, you're just playing tribute to 70s
Costume,
and
basically.
costumes and
Something.
everything.
Right,
yeah,
right.
something like that.
So something like that. So that is what I'm saying, that grooming is actually one of the very because
Basically, this is like only the successful people can afford to.
No, so it's
Have
their job,
such thing.
right? It's their job to
Don't you think? Do you feel Just Soul doesn't get laid?
Just so let me think. Who's just so?
Hey, motherfucker! A short guy with big paunch. having
why
a
have I heard
mustache.
this Just Soul somewhere?
He's a content creator, a global influencer.
Yeah,
You could just look it up.
for sure. But
Not at all. By no
I've
means
heard.
is he
I've
attractive.
definitely
By
heard
no
of
means
Just
is he attractive.
okay.
But he has a status.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
only the successful are allowed to be who they are in
So
today's
it's-
times. I
it's
mean,
a-
this is the perception. This is the perceived notion, basically.
No, so
So I'll be allowed to be who I am if I'm successful. So even at times, I think like I want to have.
No,
I want to be at such a point where I don't have to give a fuck about.
So exactly. I'll still dwell more upon that. So your success, would it be dependent upon what you feel is successful or what Bollywood tells you is successful?
What I feel.
100%, right? So I mean,
Definitely.
in terms of Bollywood, reaching out to Bollywood, Hollywood, Tollywood, whoever, creating such content, reaching out to millions, they have certain set of responsibilities. They cannot hammer the brain saying that, you know what, this is what success means like, this is what beauty means like, this is what confidence means like, and if you don't have it, you're a fucking loser.
The portrayal is absolutely disappointing.
That's messed up. And furthermore, seeing social media doing this, I mean, people posting in videos and I don't know, stories about things showing that they're happy, but they're still messed up. I don't know what's happening with that. Because for me, I guess that's where you're beginning to, you know, sort of start kidding yourself.
So again, you see, like, it's like once you start creating content, right? So you've set the wheels rolling. Now, choosing whether we want to put out this content is a controllable thing. If it's no, we get it contained. But the day it's yes, so there are certain expectations we need to match.
No, so don't you think they are also responsible? By the word, I'm focusing on double quotations and underline
No
and bold
one
on
wants
it,
to lose
responsible.
50K followers overnight, bro. No one wants.
I get it.
So
I
it's
totally
it's
get
an
it.
effect which they have no control over, but just to be a slave to the system.
So it's a business, right?
A person who have you ever seen any celebrity, any influencer who's put out stories day in, day out of how unhappy they are, how miserable
cannot.
they are? So
They cannot. That's the whole thing, right?
they can. Absolutely they can. If they don't give a fuck about people's opinion. But then what's at the stake? What's
So
on the line?
sadness doesn't sell.
It doesn't. It's not attractive at all.
Right.
People like you and me would talk. Probably we would respect. It would be a discussion of some podcast that we should record probably in the future. But if a person is continuously posting out content which are, you know,
So truth.
what is the perception
Nobody
you get?
wants to see the reality.
Absolutely not. And who doesn't want to gain
No,
followers? Who doesn't want to be popular?
I understand, but then how much are you going to kid yourself by not looking at reality? You know, they say, right, even if the cat shuts off her eyes, doesn't mean that the whole world can't see her.
So the beauty about influencers is basically
No, so
they
let's-
don't need followers,
hang
they
on.
need fans.
No, so let's not get to influencers. I'm not trying to shoot them down. What I'm trying to say is they come with a certain set responsibility. Not influencers from the
But
literal.
unsaid
Hold on. Hang
responsibilities.
on. So by influencers, I mean anyone who has a mass following, be it a Shah Rukh Khan, to be it a TikTok influencer, to anyone for that matter, they come with certain set responsibilities. Certainly, they wouldn't be promoting, say, a pan masala or something of that sort. Perhaps that's not good to promote as such. But
Zubaa Kesari.
Yep. No big shout outs here, but sure. So, but then again, in terms of at least shaping up the overall existing environment, people are actually messed up. They are unable to have a normal conversation with a opposite sex just because of that overall stigma that you've created into the society, saying that, you know what, you should be respectful towards women, and if you go and approach a woman, that is disrespect. And that's just messed up. I don't know, why would you say that? And I mean, also the society, right, telling you that the whole idea of sex is being a big taboo, right? People don't talk about it. People are very scared to speak to their parents about it. The parents initially have told their children that, you know, you shouldn't talk about sex, that's bad, and you have fucking born because of sex.
Absolutely.
I mean,
For a population who doesn't want to talk about sex, we're way too many people. What are we doing?
Absolutely. I mean, that's
Living
a
in denial,
lot of
basically.
Living in denial.
Yeah, so people need to like massively deprogram themselves, unplug themselves from all this crap. Because this is not the reality.
And this is happening actually.
See, the need is never showcased. The need is never put out on a platform where it's public, where it reaches out to the masses. And the situation is such that even if, let's say, we had 10 million subs on our YouTube and we would be talking about this, we might get cancelled.
Who knows? Yeah.
Yeah. Because you are challenging the very thought or the very thing that people want to shy away from. This might be a bedroom discussion. How can you fucking say it on a platform?
public
So
forum.
the thing that we're talking about being responsible as influencers, the same thing the bottle would be facing us.
Oh, definitely.
Like,
definitely.
how can you guys be talking about such things? You should be responsible.
No, so
Where you are just talking about something which is a core of a genuine belief. Something which is needed to be addressed.
if I break down that genuine belief, if they genuinely feel that sex is bad, then why are you doing it?
No one wants to admit.
Exactly.
No one wants to admit.
Who says it's bad?
Oh no, it's not.
It's not. Absolutely.
Definitely not. See, 4 on 4.
Enthusiastic minds.
No, but genuinely, so maybe back in the days, one point of time, and that's a Diet Coke right there.
Yeah,
Nothing else. Okay.
Being responsible.
Oh, absolutely. But back in the days, maybe a mother someday might have told her daughter that, you know what, be careful of those men who are, sort of trying to speak to you. They'll come and take away your virginity and whatever sort of
I don't think they might. Look it up on the net. What do you call virginity in Hindi or in respective languages? And I am very sure if virginity in Hindi means X, I don't think they might have ever referred it.
No.
to as
So
X.
I'm not talking about
Some funny name might have been given, like your manhood, the names that you get
Correct.
as a kid, right?
Correct. So it's so
But yeah,
funny,
I mean,
but you get it, right?
These
What I'm trying
conversations
to
do happen.
that they're trying to put in that fear sort of a mindset in your head that what, you'll be messed up and this is bad for you, and probably see, I understand maybe you're too young to get pregnant. As simple as that. You don't know shit. You don't know better. So maybe the solution to is to have a conversation early on that what, this is what happens this is the result what you reach to. If you have that conversation early on with your children, perhaps it won't be as uncomfortable as they proceed ahead in terms of maybe reaching to someone, maybe speaking to someone, or maybe just going out on a plain simple date.
Absolutely.
It just
doesn't become such a great deal for them.
Correct.
Gradually.
Correct. And what happens is, Abhi, right now we are talking about more of one-itis and how this whole scene is. Now let's just make an example out here. Because I'll make my own example here. Tinder, I get one match in 8 months. Tinder, if you're listening, that's just messed up. But still, now let me sort of break that down. I get one match in 8 months. I go massively one-itis on this one, right? Because I don't want to lose her. One match in 8 months is quite a bit. That's a lot of patience, all right?
I haven't had any.
And that's
There we
where
go.
the cold approach comes in the game.
No, so I'll reach there as well. Now, when I realize that it's a problem for me, what was I doing for the past 8 months? Why the fuck do I need to really, wait for someone to tell me that, what, this is not what you're looking for? Perhaps you're messed up. You need to deal with your own demons right now. Get your shit together. And perhaps things will move on. So I tried with a different app now. The approach being very different. First off, hit the gym, lost a few pounds, been dancing my ass off, meeting cool set of people, doing immense amount of work, and being busy and doing things which I enjoy the most. And poof, it was magic.
Inner work.
I don't know if it was inner work genuinely, but I was working more. I was comfortable with myself more than anything.
Exactly.
And that actually landed me up with more of matches.
You chased excellence, not women.
Exactly.
And they follow.
Right.
So I think that is what
There's
tough bullet which we need to bite,
Exactly.
and we need to.
So basically, there's
definitely-
this a very spiritual thing said about the outcome or the results is whenever you are actually expecting of a tree to be grown in your yard, so you have to think of soil, you have to think of sunlight, you have to think of water, you have to think of the air rather than thinking of the flower and the fruits. if you take care of soil, if you take care of water, if you take care of the sunlight and everything in the garden, the fruit and the tree will come out of itself. So basically, you have to focus on process rather than the... Exactly. So you just have to take care of the raw things and the materials, and the result will come out of itself. Basically, the thing is that. So if you...
I'll add a funny incident which you fucking brilliantly reminded me. We were just talking about Danish, right? So he always mentions of this thing that Arey Birbal ki khichdi mat bana. So if you don't have the overall setting done, I mean, Birbal khichdi, you know, right? That,
right.
The fire is up on the hill and the whole pot of rice and dal is down there.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't make sense, right? You haven't really created that environment to cook that that meal.
Exactly. So if you are,
I get it.
If you are expecting women to be there in your life, so you do not have to think about women. You have to think about hitting up gym. You have to think about setting up your life. You have to think about becoming less miserable. You have to think about like becoming more good with money. All other things you have to take care of, and everything will take care of itself.
And you actually need to put in the work more than anything.
Right.
I think one of the most, like, at that point I felt it was very beautiful was someone told me, like, I think it was either you, Virat, or I don't quite remember, but maybe I was like, the conversation started off as like, I like this chick and, you know, how do I date her? I would like her to be my girlfriend. And always, like, whenever I found someone attractive, I wanted them to be my girlfriend because I was always single. And that's when, I think it was Sujit who told me, why do you always want them to be your girlfriend? Why can't you be friends first? No. Why do you always have to...
I have a problem with that, but sure. Go on.
Yeah,
go on,
but then I felt like, you know, immediately you are trying to... I mean, why can't you be a better person to that person first?
No, so again, I'll still ask you the same thing. Why are you going with the stigma that if you're asking someone on a date, you're not a better person with her?
I feel I am. But then the thought that I want her to be a girlfriend immediately. That's my actions to pursue that person would be just so she could be my girlfriend.
Perfect. Even better, right? That's the genuine bit you want to showcase. I guess that was the last podcast we were talking about, wherein you are actually confident enough to own up that what you want with in this particular transaction or an interaction or a communication or a conversation.
Correct.
That if I am looking for you to be my girlfriend, I am going to try to court you into it. I am not going to be your friend and your 4 a.m. friend for you to mope about your exes and about the guy who just ditched you and why cannot all guys be like you and all those set of conversations. That's just messed up. I'm not sure if there is someone who's been really successful to get out of a zone like a friend zone and still get into a dating relationship. And that's not it.
I've been friend zoned.
Me too. Massively. Brother zoned as well. Too many Rakhi sisters. Damn annoying. Messed up.
And that actually...
And the rant goes on.
And this actually sometimes like crushes your confidence up to the bottom of your land.
Totally.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, we're back to the same topic. Just be the fucking man.
Absolutely.
Kill it in life. Just get it done. Your life should be a celebration that other women want to come and join the party. True. They want to come for the ride.
Exactly. Be the party.
Be the party. Exactly. That's what you need to do.
Be the party. Right.
I mean, to answer your question, finally, you were like, hey, how are you doing all this?
Yeah, the messages that you send out as DM on Instagram.
All right. No, I mean, okay. Even before that, my strategy out there is, I mean,
I'll tell you, my strategy is liking all their old pictures. You remember, Virat?
How's your day going?
And my typical line used to be, I used to send, hey, hi, Abhishek here from Mumbai. How was your day? And I've still not stopped
No.
Still, I'm pretty much adamant that way. I'll crack shit out.
Definitely, there'll be one person who will like that to be very cute.
Just finding that one. Cold approaches, you know.
Perfect.
Again, not that I'm very confident, like this will definitely
yield
the deal. For me.
It's still a good icebreaker, though. I mean, you continue the conversation from there.
Yeah. So you were saying, Varun.
So I mean, see, my approach is okay. So I'm a funny, happy person. I am always inviting people, blah, blah, blah. So what I do is, I mean, for most guys out there, their strategy is to go out and literally approach every woman they find, right? It's like a very out there, one ray of light splitting into many. Okay, that's their approach.
Yeah.
Mine is the opposite.
Okay.
I try to find that one girl who looks really interesting, would be into the same things as I am. Because then the ground is set. One problem that is the only problem, and I wish this was not a problem with cold approaches. You are meeting women out in the open, and she's all like, यार मैं तो यहाँ दही बल्ला खाने आया हूँ, तू कौन है जो मुझे आके ऐसा सता रहा है? Right? So when you find women who are into the same stuff as you, when you find, a suitable match, let's just, for the lack of a better word, call that, the ground is already set. When she comes over to meet you, what you're supposed to talk about, be with her, and the things that you're supposed to do and enjoy, is the ground is already set.
So I think if you're looking for that particular type of a person, you'll go to the places where you find
exactly.
those.
Yeah.
You need to still put in the work to go there and actually do that.
You have to do that. That's true.
And you will also get rejected if you are approaching a woman who is eating dahi balla.
जैसे बादल important है वैसे दही बल्ले भी important.
Exactly.
Yeah, so coming back to that thing. So I make them invest.
Right.
I run a cafe, I run a recording studio, I'm a performing musician. So I mix and match any three things, any couple of things from these things. And I'm like, okay, we get talking. Oh, you like the same music as me, like the same movies as me. Oh, like, hey, and make a little bit of like, you have to be like, you have to treat her like she's your girlfriend, but also be that annoying. You have to also treat her like your little sister. You have to annoy her also a little bit. Be a little polarizing. Say some stuff that hey, look, you look cute, but you look like trouble. Now that gets her hamster in her head thinking, you know what? Okay, thanks, but why did you say I'm trouble? And you follow up with something else.
What do you mean?
Okay, yeah, exactly. So
exactly. This is called
them curious.
Yeah, this is called push and pull thing.
Push and pull thing. Correct.
Cold pushes.
Yeah.
So, and then you just tell her, okay, hey, we got a lot to talk about. This is nice. So why don't you come on over and help me make some coffee, or help me make a smoothie, or hey, why don't we sit? You like Beatles, right? Let's sit and listen to Sgt. Pepper or whatever, and you're making her invest. That's what you're really doing. And she is joining your party, and she sees you as a fun person to be around with, and you take it from there. And the rest is history. I'm pointing to my couch, by the way.
That just happened. But
humble person.
Very, very. But genuinely, I think that's one thing where you can get innovative, right? In terms of planning your dates, wherein you are actually getting her invested in you. So, I mean, sure, a good coffee date is nice, but making coffee with your date, freaking brilliant.
But personally, I'm not a very big fan of first coffee dates.
Can be anything.
Exactly.
It can be anything. Go hiking, go take a walk.
Exactly.
Go anything. True. Find good stuff to do. And if you're a guy who's already got his shit sorted, you're chasing excellence, you've got, you have internal validation. 100%. You have a good group of healthy friends around you.
100%.
Men should never seek company and, togetherness, or what, I'm struggling to find that word. Like company, basically. Company and acceptance into a woman. It should be with your male
validation,
friends. Yeah. It should be, your company.
Brotherhood and...
Exactly, brotherhood. I mean, that should not come from a woman in the first place. Okay, it should come from your gang of
the
high-value men.
Usually it is still the brother and the brethren and those...
Correct. And it needs to be like good dudes also, right? You can't have like, if you have 5 losers in the room, you're going to be the sixth one.
Exactly.
Okay, you need like good high value people around you, good people. The company you keep with, you're going to be like that. So, and then the woman is just an addition, like she's the icing to the cake.
Yep.
So that's the formula that people get. And then, I mean, we do 2 things very well. We complicate our lives, and then we find good excuses to come up to justify it, right? So be aware of your own shit.
Absolutely.
You need to do that. I mean, be aware of other shit also, but be aware of your own shit in the first place. Don't be. That's why we'll end up being needy when you get rejected. You're like, oh no, why did you turn me down?
Absolutely.
And when it's, and same thing when you break up with someone, it's not about the girl so much. It's about who you were when you were in love with that person. That familiarity, that comfort, that rut, that cycle that you were in, being complacent and everything.
Trying to be addicted to that and those
Yeah.
things as well. Yeah. Get it.
You're addicted to crack. Addicted to that crack.
Okay, yeah. And
Anyway.
some song placements out here. Okay.
All right, so that's the thing. I mean, you guys take it from there, wherever you want to take it. Okay, I mean, what is the advice that you want to give to the 18-year-old person listening right now to this podcast? AB Chan.
With regards to dating?
With regards to dating, with success with women, success in life, whatever we're talking about.
Or getting your shit together.
Getting your shit together, correct.
So, I think I already said that don't lose yourself in the pursuit of, making people be interested in you or seeking validation from others. I mean, those people they are not present in my life now. And I have spent pretty good amount of time struggling to be in their company, to be in their good books. The only good book is where you write the names. Your good book is what exists. To be in others' good book is basically, I don't know, being a B word. It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't.
So, I mean, I would only say that, I would only remind myself that I'm the prize, I'm the party. Ultimately, it's me who sleeps with myself first.
So is that a affirmation you would always use?
I always use now. Why would I bother myself with being accepted by even you guys, for that matter? If you are truly what I feel you are, then me being the way I am won't matter.
Exactly.
Because you would allow me, see how bold it is, you would allow me to be myself, knowing that I am capable, knowing that I'm independent enough mentally to take my own decisions. Aren't we wrong at times? Aren't we not decisive enough at times?
So let me sum that up in one line, which in the past someone had very beautifully put it together. That we accept someone for who he is, usually. I mean, in general, we accept someone for who he is or who she is. But we seldomly forget this one fact, and she beautifully put it in one line, that we must accept someone for who he or she is and who he or she is not. It goes both the ways. I mean, we're just saying she's this type of person, she's an amazing person, she's a fun guy, blah, 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 blah. Yep, let's get him to the club, let's have fun, let's party. At times you do realize that, she's not that type of a person which you ideally have thought about as well. And then you burden that person with, your own...
Unsaid commitments,
exactly,
right? I mean, always clear it out. If the question is meant for the other person, never answer it in the first place.
Correct. And this, as a note, could be something which is very, very crucial for you to realize when you are accepting someone, maybe as your friend, as your girlfriend, as your significant other. Certain things you need to realize that, that person might have things and might not have other things as well. So the whole person is what you're accepting. It's not that, I pick and choose certain qualities which I'm okay with. This doesn't work with me. That's not how it works. I mean, at least as far as I've seen it, that is just...
In a broader sense, it doesn't matter. True. Like, I agree with you.
It shouldn't.
Like, everyone has their own downfalls. Everyone has their own flaws. No one's perfect, man.
No one ever is.
Everyone
has baggage as well.
Absolutely.
You sure, if you're not able to deal with it, we can help you out.
But then have such an open relation where... See, I'm very honest and I feel I'm very truthful when I say I don't want to be your 4 a.m. distress call. And being unapologetic at times.
Rather being communicative about it.
Absolutely. Don't let unsaid obligation burden you with things,
Of course.
right? Because, and why assume? Like normally, I would say, like in the first podcast, I was saying when I was referring to when you assume you're only a bitch. But now what I what I feel like is like when you assume you make an ass out of you and me. This is what Jordan Belfort said in one of his videos. So never. Life is very simple. People are simple. If you communicate, things are way sorted. I would rather have an honest person who's like, I like to be in your company, but I'm not exclusive, or like, it's not like you could expect something out of me. I'll just show up here. We'll have good times. We'll chit chat. Like we
Of
could
course,
be
of course, of
like
course.
Bhavesh. This is our second podcast, right? I mean, we've not exchanged numbers, nothing. So there's no burden, basically, right? Let it grow gradually. Do I respect you? Yes. Do I badmouth you? There's no fucking need, right? And this would naturally grow to become a very strong tree. Not even tree, right? So I think being communicative is one of the best steps to being a very good person also.
In general, for any relationship, communication
And anything,
is
like for
the key.
be it job, I don't know how, like depending on job, one probably has to be diplomatic. But then I think one-on-one, like leave job aside, like your life is yours, right? You cannot be diplomatic in your life.
So not just diplomatic, maybe calculative is what I would say. Just know that it shouldn't just be out of a spite or just be out of some anger that you're trying to say things.
And a lot of times what happens is we inadvertently hurt someone. We bring out things that might hurt, right? If you out of care tell me like, bro, I'm so sorry, like, did I hurt you when I said that? And just how I've been nurtured to be. No, I didn't feel hurt, but I'm thinking of it. Just say yes, because you're feeling it, right? I say no and you still try to console. If I say yes, you would still do the same. Has the outcome changed? But now you feel like, oh, because even I'm 100% sure even you are not used to listening to yes. So a lot of times when we inadvertently hurt someone,
Of course.
we always hear no.
Of course.
Like, oh, no, I'm okay. अरे लगी भाई फटी पड़ी है ना, मतलब फटके फ्लावर हो गया या जो भी है, मतलब you've hurt me really bad. But does it change my perception of you? Because I understand that it happened unnaturally or it was not intentional. I can live with that, and so can you. So communication is.
So like, I guess if it is communicated, for me personally, I would remember it for the rest of my life. That
and
this is
you
something.
would still remember because you're not a fool. You can still read my body language.
No. Very specific to that incident where you say that this is actually what hurt me. Even if you're sorry, this is how I felt.
Correct.
So I mean, I think that is the most mature way of dealing with this situation. And be it any relationship as well, I think we need to put in that communication as well.
And this is the very thing that we forget. People become complacent in being communicative.
We take it for granted.
Take it for granted, yes.
That is the worst part. Messed up. Any playbook, anything from you, Bhavesh, for our viewers, for our listeners, anything they should really keep in mind while they're maybe out there dating, maybe going out on relationships, maybe anything with the family or with the bros. Or the sisters as well. I mean, the sisters. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
female listeners, we love you. Big shout out.
Yeah. So, specifically for dating, I would say be transparent, be very much blunt in terms of dating as such. I would say that be blunt, share whatever you feel and whatever you think about your partner, and have sex, a lot of sex. I would say, because sex plays a very different role in a relationship, a very beautiful role in a relationship. So,
and now instead of saying yes, a lot of people would be like, sex is not everything.
Exactly. Yeah.
Fucking just say it yes already. And then say that there are further more elements to it.
Man, we need to get a shout out honk machine. When someone says, drops a bomb, like have a lot of sex. I need that. Yeah, I need
Hell yeah. That's the trend right there.
Exactly.
But I guess, you're right. Maybe. Yeah.
So people have a tendency to reject the obvious thing.
Yeah, it's fine.
Deny
so,
to those
so
things.
sure, it's not the whole thing. It's not the end of the earth. It's not the main thing.
But it is, right?
important.
It
It is
is.
definitely
It is important. It is important.
That's how you were fucking born. What's wrong with you?
Right.
Come on.
And actually, it actually adds up to the relationship.
Of course.
It actually takes you to the different level of relationship.
Of
You
course.
actually
Just imagine someone saying like, no, sex is not everything and they have 5 kids.
Now they've done it. Maybe that's why. Perhaps.
Yeah, so, please continue.
yeah, definitely. So
I'll keep going.
so like connect with your partner on the spiritual level, on the like heart to heart relationship is very much important.
True.
And yeah, obviously physical attachment is definitely important, and that is what I would say, that always try to fill up the bruises whenever you have fights and all these things. The transparency will definitely add up to that particular thing. If you are very much transparent with the partners, definitely it will help you to heal all those particular bruises which you have like got during the fights and all. So just put the heart out while you are actually talking to your partner. So if you are feeling sad about the situation, just say I'm sad. If you are feeling happy about the situation, just say I'm happy. That will actually help you to keep the relationship long.
And if you're angry, then don't speak out of anger. Cool yourself off and then speak.
Definitely. And that is what I was saying, that when we were talking about that nowadays people do not actually have tolerance and they tend to break or tend to call it quit. So that is what I was saying over here, that whenever we end up into a relationship and when we try to actually sustain it for a longer, like for the and till the end of the life, the thing is, whenever we are into some kind of commitment or some kind of you can say contract or any kind of thing. So the thing is, you keep on. Suppose there's a thread, and it's getting like it is breaking again and again. And just for the sake of like commitment or something, you just need to tie it down again. So after a while, it is going to break from somewhere else. You have to tie it down from there also. So the point is, how many times you break it and how much space is there to tie the knots. If the whole thread is filled with knots, now there is no space to fill with the knots. Now the time has come to call it quit, because there's no space to fill it with the knots. So the point is, how many times you can tie the knots basically. So the bigger the thread is, more number of knots you can place over there, and the longer the relationship will sustain. So the basic point is this only. There's no such mantra where you will actually say that, okay, this is the particular formula, you have to follow this and you will never get a knot in your relationship.
True.
So it's all about how many knots you can actually bear in your thread. So it's like that.
There's no magical formula.
This is one of the most brilliant analogies I've heard.
True.
Very, very nice. Very nice.
True.
So basically, if you want to sustain, or if you want to live with the relationship, or if you want to live with some particular, so you should always get a reason to tie that knot.
Oh yeah.
If you have the reason, you will again go. So the reason should be from both the ways.
Oh, absolutely. Shouldn't be one-sided.
So
knot.
yeah, obviously, because whenever the thread is broken, it has two parts. So one part is in your hand, other part is in another person's hand. So if you go to another person, that person should also come to you to actually tie that knot. And here you have again promised that, okay, we will take it further. And you have a thread again attached with each other, but with a knot. So that knot will again create some kind of hindrance, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
So the more the knots are, difficult it will be for you to actually take that thread further. So this is something which actually I believe about the relationships. Varun.
Maybe one thing which I'll add to this is you certainly need to put in the work, even in that relationship.
Definitely.
Can't just get complacent. I mean, knots or without knots, you need to fucking put in the work. Yeah, Varun. go on.
No, there will be road bumps. Exactly.
100%,
There will be
100%.
road bumps, and you need grit
Hmm.
to
Yeah,
sustain.
Yeah.
Yeah, people have gone to war with women, man. I mean, for women.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay, with women by their side, I mean, people talk about, I can go to a war with this lady. Okay, she's that good. So it does exist. It's
Exactly,
just,
it does. It always does.
okay, yeah. To answer that question, I mean, what was the question again? It was advice to give to people. right?
okay.
We're back to
You
that
put
thing.
me on the
Yeah.
spot.
Right,
So the
right,
question
right.
was an advice that you would really
Yeah.
give for our
I mean,
listeners.
we're allowed to name drop maybe a book or a
for
YouTube
sure, for
channel
sure,
or
for
people
sure,
that we
for
listen
sure.
to, of course. So, yeah. So, I mean, one of my two books that I think all the men should definitely read with this subject is one book is called The Rational Male by Rollo Tomasi, which talks about dating and intergender relationships and everything about that. The first chapter, the opening page is about one-itis. So there you go. That book will really prep you up for, you cannot sleepwalk in life with all this stuff because you will suffer. Okay. And for it to not be a recipe for disaster, you need to I mean, all the men listening to this should definitely go and read the book, The Rational Male. The other one is when we were talking about being the best version of yourself, maximizing your areas in your looks, in your finances, in your status, in your everything, in your game, whatever. There's a great book called The Unplugged Alpha by Richard Cooper.
Yeah.
Okay, he runs this channel called Entrepreneurs in Cars. He drives McLarens and Ferraris and all. So I mean, like he's maxed out in pretty much all these areas. So he's written a book called The Unplugged Alpha. So people should go and read that also. And it just talks about what sort of things to avoid, what your duty is supposed to be. Like all these things that I was talking about is already there in the book. So that's there. And apart from that, yeah, just be the best version of you. I mean, your life should be a party. It's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be, I mean, so many things overlap with the whole entrepreneur side of things. Every business should be ELF, easy, lucrative, and fun. I think the same thing applies to your dating life. It's supposed to be fun.
Have fun.
Hang out, have fun. It's the 3 H's. We're back to
the third H.
Yeah, okay.
If you're
Another name
in for
drop.
it.
Shout out to Coach Corey Wayne,
Okay.
who has a book called The 3% Man.
Okay.
And the 3 H's in that book is have fun, hang out, and hook up.
Hook up. Yeah.
And keep it till that, and you'll be, don't keep room for drama, and don't be dramatic. I mean, don't be, okay, that can be wrong. Don't complicate things further.
Yeah, I mean,
if you stick to the basics, it's going to be fine. Just have fun.
Yeah, why not? Maybe for me, I am reminded of one of our teachers. Back then, I mean, she did say something which was very, very crucial, which was gold, silver, diamond. I don't know. It was precious. And maybe now I realize the value of what she said back then. She kind of put this in a way that, a holistic person, and she said person, requires 3 things. 1, to feed him/her. 2, to keep him/her creative. 3rd, to keep him/her fit and healthy. So, I mean, have a work which is getting you money. Have an activity which is keeping you creative. Play music, write poetry, read books. Don't tell me that Netflix and those things are going to be something which is going to help you be creative. That's fuck all. But nevertheless, I think pick up creative activities which gets your mind working onto things and getting your imagination running wild and sort of putting it onto something which is more of a work done there. 3rd is something which will keep you fit. Pick up, say, any activity you love. Walking, go out for treks, walk, cycle, I personally picked up dancing and gymming as something which is keeping me fit. Dancing more from a passion and more from keeping me creative as well. But again, it doubles up as helping me for staying fit. So I think I am not yet a holistic person. I am still yet to reach that. But then I feel more comfortable in myself. I mean, taking the care of these three things, I think the other things are much more easier. So maybe that's one playbook which you guys might want to really think about.
I'm jealous of your dancing skills, man.
Oh yeah.
Definitely. I would have plus one.
Yeah. And also, he used to be a drummer back in the day.
Oh yeah.
There's
Come as
something
you
I was
are the System of a Down version.
You need to get back to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I mean, you're banging other things now, which,
So many
which I
things.
support, but
for
you need to get back to the drum kit, man.
Of course. But yeah.
By the way, what you were talking about is Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Just
yeah.
look this up.
Oh no,
She was quoting Maslow's hierarchy of needs.
Was it? Okay. No, because Maslow's hierarchy of needs does include a lot of other things as well.
Yeah,
So-
it's on a spiritual
The
self-actualization.
pinnacle is self-actualization, right?
Yeah, a lot of stuff there.
It's beautiful. I mean, and that's where the major gap comes in, self-actualization. So again, it'll be again opening up the whole podcast to something different, wherein there are gaps between people in a relationship, right? I mean, now the male is more of the person who's going out there getting work done, and he comes back home, he doesn't have something to talk to his wife about, and that is where the gap comes in. So that's a very classic example, which the Maslow's law. And the other day I was discussing with someone about that. It beautifully stated there that these gaps do show up when you are actually growing in a particular career or in a particular phase as such. And at the same time, if your significant other isn't able to match up, and that's where the gaps begin to come in, and that's where you find a problem in your relationship. But sure, that's maybe a larger conversation for another day. But Maslow's law, oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of episodes right there.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. But then again, the takeaway is beautiful, right? I mean, three things keep in mind. Be comfortable also in your skin. Pick up, be confident, read books, read good material. Don't think that there's going to be a perfect scenario ever, because there's never. Don't chase perfection. You're just perfect the way you are, just imperfectly perfect.
See, incompetent people will show you a picture of perfection. They might know perfection better.
Oh, absolutely.
Perfection is everything that they are not.
Absolutely.
And they don't want to make the changes in them. They want you to do it for them.
Of course.
They would want to paint a picture for you. That this is what you could be. This is what I want. And what I would also want is people don't forget to live with yourself first.
Of course.
Seek solitude. Seek greatness in solitude. Because if you cannot live with yourself, if you skip that part, I'm sure there'll be a lot of people that will come across who cannot live with you. That's a constant, right?
True.
That's a constant.
True.
And there's one more thing which I would say, that there are people who would say that they know everything are the ones who know nothing.
Oh, absolutely. The loudest ones in the room.
Exactly. And the ones who actually know something, they know that they know nothing. And that is why they are actually...
They think of themselves as fools.
Yes. And the more you actually know the world, for example, if you are knowing the world more, you will come to know. For example, if you're reading a book, at the end of the book, there are 500 differences.
Yeah.
And after reading one book, you came to know that you haven't read 500 more.
True.
So there's knowledge worth 500 books which is not even reached to you. And the one person who hasn't even read half of the book, he'll be like, okay, I have got 50% of the knowledge which I have already received. Are you understanding? And once you go into one of those 500 books, you will come to know that there are more 500 out of that.
Absolutely.
So the person who is actually getting the knowledge or the knowledgeable, that is the person who knows that he knows nothing. So the point basically over here is that there are so many people who actually pretend to be knowledgeable, but they are actually not.
But maybe I think in terms of knowledge, the only person you should trust or judge or be comfortable with is the one who's done the work.
Exactly. They have shown the work on themselves.
Yeah, of course, definitely. Of course. If you're getting knowledge about someone who is into playing guitar. Reach out to the person who actually knows how to play guitar or who just hasn't read a book and saying, you know what, now I know how to play a guitar.
There was this very funny example on YouTube. There was this video on YouTube, how to get 1 million views on the video. There was a title of the video. And the video itself got 500 views. so that was
nobody practice what they preach, but they
exactly.
Have to
So that is what actually I got surprised with. The video itself has
and also the fact is that they themselves don't know about it.
Exactly.
They just want to sound confident because and they are not wrong. Mind you, there'll be a lot of people that will be falling prey to them, to their tactics.
500 people already fall.
We call them snake oil salesmen.
Snake oil salesman.
Snake oil salesman.
Snake oil salesman. Nice.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So maybe we've come to a natural progression towards.
I can totally see AB Chan in a few years becoming a total Zen master.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What is Zen?
What is Zen?
I mean,
not the car, obviously.
Before I
A Zen master, as in like
one
just,
who is one with the universe and one with himself, and who's found the
completely
balance
at peace, and that
within
sort of
himself.
thing.
I should certainly seek
wearing
because
way
there's
more
no one
colourful
out there
shirts.
trying for me. Sorry?
Wearing way more colorful shirts.
No, but then I should certainly do it for myself because there's no one out there doing it for me.
Of course.
And
Maybe now you've realized
now you've
that
given me an idea. I mean, I'd like
you're in that Maslow's need hierarchy for self-actualization now, perhaps.
As in?
You're reaching towards finding that inner spiritual path, perhaps. Conversation for another podcast. I will stop you there. but that's a natural
never
progression.
Let me speak.
अरे
आप देख रहे हैं
घनघोर अत्याचार हो रहा है इनके साथ
No, but again, like,
but I think that's a natural progression for everyone. They certainly feel the need for a spiritual path. ठीक है, maybe a podcast for another day.
I'm not even consciously seeking. It's just that I'm not distracted as of today. I don't feel the need to have a girlfriend. I feel the need to find the success that I've defined for myself. So I'm just set out on that path, and it happens to be. So a lot of times, like with me, what happens is a lot of times I've not read books. I've started I've exposed myself to Audible. I've been reading few things, and a lot of times you say that I do these things which are written and which I'm completely unaware of, which makes me feel good, but that it doesn't make me feel inquisitive enough. That I should know, because I feel good that I'm set out to do something on my own.
So I'll just come towards an end of the podcast, but with one very fundamental question to you, AB Chan. Now you said that you are on a path. You're on a mission. You're on that vision that you want to reach. You have a certain value system in place for you, right? Till now we are agreed. Cut to and a beautiful, perfect, amazing person, not beautiful in the physical appearances, but the beautiful person that she is comes into your life. Would you actually be open to have a conversation with that person, maybe to see something where it moves, or it's something very, very hardbound? Because that's for the female listeners out here for us.
Conversation, yes. Why not?
No.
There's no
Hang on.
No, he's
Prospect of dating?
he's indicating to some girl coming and saying, "AB Chan, me love you long time."
Love you back, sisters.
Not sisters. He's talking in a romantic way.
Yeah, of course. I mean, definitely if someone just comes up to you and says that, you know what, I would love to be a part of your mission as well.
So define them being a part of... Them being a part of my mission as in what? We dating?
Of course, you guys trying to lead a life together.
I'm not. I mean... honestly, I'm not.
So all you pretty women, sorry, I mean,
to be continued in the coming podcasts. Get the people hooked. Get the people hooked.
5 years
right now.
down the line, maybe yes. 10 years down the line, why not? I won't die single, but I'm not sure I would want to be married also, right? I want to be happy with what I do, and I can.
Of course, but if someone does come in, and don't be so harsh on them, female podcast listeners.
Honestly, like it's never happened to me, so I don't know how to react.
Rishta's welcome.
I would love to talk to them, but then again, like
Rishta's welcome.
That would be scary for me. like that would be a situation जहाँ मैं दही भल्ले खा रहा हूँ and then someone approaching me.
Man,
All they could get is a burp.
that hashtag Dahi Balla, people just people
Big
won't
shout
stop.
out to Dahi Balla Walas.
So I don't know,
Everywhere.
man. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll see. But
Nice.
at least for the next 8 years, I don't know. I cannot.
Sure.
Like it's very difficult to be on a path of abstinence. You know, it's very difficult. And now I'm in the zone. And with every day, I've stopped consuming alcohol. But I've never told myself that I've quit. I've not quit alcohol.
Of course you haven't.
I have not quit alcohol. I'm enjoying this process. 6 shots of Americano, you know, in a day. Like this is a new addiction. It's okay. I can live with that. I'm still in control, and this is what I'm enjoying. For once in my life, this is the first year that I started off. I started drinking at the age of 17. Not drinking excessively, but the first sip that I had of alcohol, and I've always enjoyed being reckless. I've spoilt myself a lot, and now I'm like, I'm in control. I don't let things control me, and I'm happy. And slide into my DMs, we'll see.
Yeah, of course.
Now we're talking.
This is what you
while
wanted
you're
me
eating
to say.
dahi ballas, right?
Yeah.
Of course. No, but
The bhallas
genuinely,
are on their way, don't worry.
These are very tricky questions.
all the bhallas in the house. Big shout out to you guys. But genuinely, I think beautiful one right there. So
Virat, before we wrap up, I just want to thank you one last time for having me.
Oh,
and
come on.
Bhavesh and for
Always
doing
been a
this.
part of this.
Superb.
Yeah,
I'm so
definitely,
glad
definitely.
you've had
Yeah, we're
this
glad.
inside of you always, all this while, and I just want to show some gratitude right now. Okay.
Superb.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly.
So thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely.
Been trying to sort of bring it out there, but thank you podcast listeners.
Bringing your honest
as
self
well.
forth, you know.
Of course.
This is what we love.
Yep.
So I think to all the listeners who are stuck until here, definitely like the last ones, we also have a surprise for you right after this. Big shout out to the place that we're recording, that's Desi Labs in Kharghar. Big shout out to Varun, Bhavesh,
Yes.
Avichan, of course. Ro, we do miss you. So yep.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we're getting you for the next one as well. And yep, we'll be keeping you guys posted with the next upcoming set of podcasts. It's been lovely. It's been amazing. It's been a few hours, definitely.
It's been a lot of dahi ballas right now.
Oh, and a lot of dahi ballas for sure. But yeah, to put this to a beautiful end, let's sort of seal it with a beautiful song. And definitely do follow us and subscribe. And definitely find us on various of your favorite podcast platforms. That's me, Mr. V, signing off.
Ye bhi chance hai. Take care.
Varun signing off.
Bhavesh signing off.
And that's the way
A
for
very
you.
unique way of everyone signing off.
Oh, absolutely. That's how we are trying to, sort of build a
Time to fuck
scenario.
off now. Yes.
And yep, so that's us. And that's the beautiful song for you. Peace and see you in the next one. You just heard the VAbE podcast. And this is us signing off. Leaving you all with a beautiful, beautiful track. Music credits in the description below. Find us on the major platforms by Google, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. Links in the description. Show us some love in the comments below. And do tell us what you loved about our thoughts. This is us signing off. Yet again, peace.
Another day has gone by of wishing you through the phone, reaching out to say goodnight, 'cause I'm far away out on my own. Baby, I'm far away out on my own. the same on the phone, 'cause I have no one to hold. I hear you breathe on the phone, falling asleep all alone. I wish I was by your side, could've watched you sleep at night. Baby, I'd watch you sleep at night. Can we get closer? Can we get closer? I want the wait to be over. I want the wait to be over. When can we spend some time as two? 'Cause I'm tired of missing you, baby. I'm tired of missing you. I wish you were here. Wish you were here. Not far away but near. Not far away but near. I know that you're waiting too, waiting for me to be with you. Why am I here when you're there? I just wanna meet you somewhere. Why am I here when you're there? I just find it so unfair. I wish you were here. Wish you were here. Not far away but near. Not far away but near. So I could spend some time with you, you and me, just us two. Just us two. You and me, 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 just us two.